Okay, y'all. Here we go. All right, let me get comfortable here. All right, what's going on? Yeah. All right. So welcome back, y'all. Back in here for another one. And gotta talk about this. Feel like I've been gone for a minute. I think last time I did a live, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. Something like that. But anyways, yeah, man. I wanted to get back in here and talk about this flyweight division a little bit. It's crazy, like a lot of good fights coming up, but there's just all of this confusion right now. Things being said, but fights not being made. Um, I mean, we had a lot of good fights in the flyweight division this past year. I can't complain about that. But when it comes down to the big fight, that big fight, it just seems like right now we having trouble. It seems like the flyweight division's having a little bit of trouble deciding who's next up in here for the champion. You know, um, and I was just looking at Valentina's interview, who she's calling out, who's calling out her, and I just got to say, man, I'm looking across the board here, and there's really, well, there might be two. There might be two because I'm gonna talk about it here. There's really one fighter that we know that really wants to get back in there, and I say get back in because she already did it one time, and she ready to go again, right? We all know who that is. I ain't even gotta stress it. Y'all know. Two Beats, what's up? So yeah, BJ was in the building. There you go. He said fire. Efren, what's up? Chin in here. Yeah, man. Hold on, let's see. Hold on. Efren said he cut out. No, I'm here. Maybe your audio, maybe it's on your audio. I got my YouTube playing in the background, so I can hear my connection this time. Yeah, I got the audio playing in the background so I can hear it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah, connection's fine over here. So yeah, man. Let's see here. I just want to run through some things and talk about it real quick because, like I said, I wasn't on live for like the past 3 or 4 days, and there was just some things being said. You know, Manon, that's the name that's coming up. Valentina just did her recent interview, and she said the name that she wants right now is Manon. So I put it out right here. Let me put these points up. That's what I'm gonna talk about first. Here we go. Yeah. So Valentina, she said whenever she comes back next year, the one fighter that she's looking forward to, the one fight she really would prefer to have right now is Manon Fiorot. Okay. Manon is the one that she's looking to fight. And we already kind of know the situation with that. Um, Manon defeated Chikagan, came the number one contender. But two things, she said after she wasn't really satisfied with the performance against Chikagan, she wanted another fight, right? But she said she would have taken the fight if it was offered to her. But she also ruptured a ligament, which put her out of commission for a little while. I mean, she seems to be doing fine. She seems to be doing fine right now. I don't know the damage that was done and how much time she has to take to heal, but we'll see. We'll see like how long it takes, like March, April. She said she doesn't know yet. But Valentina said that this is the fight that she wants. This is the one fighter that she wants to fight. She didn't even mention Tyler Santos. She said she wants to take this fighter on because she's looking for somebody that she thinks is ready, is somebody that's up for the challenge. And I mean, it makes sense, like me from a known, like, regardless of what she felt like her performance, how good she felt her performance was against Chikagan, I'm like, take the fight. I mean, like, you never know. Styles make fights, and Chikagan doesn't tell you how exactly you'll do against another fighter like Valentina exactly, right? I mean, you could do something different. Tyler Santos, uh, hasn't really stopped any of her opponents on her way up to Valentina, but she fought a pretty good fight, right? She fought a pretty good fight against Valentina. So Manon really just has to kind of give herself that chance, So let's say if the injury wasn't in play, yeah, I definitely would have just said, hey, go ahead for it at this point. Just go ahead and get it. Just get it. So yeah, Valentina, I can understand why she prefers this fight because it is the number one. I respect her opinion and say, Tyler can wait, go back and, get right. But like I said, there's still nobody else that's really calling for it. She's just kind of going by what she sees in the rankings. So I'm looking at that point of view. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see that point of view there. So when she beats one girl like Tyler, I can understand she wants to move on. She probably looks at the ranks and say, okay, well, Manon is number one. That should be the one that I can have next, right? Whether it's her choice or not, that's the one that she should be able to get. And I don't know if she will, but I've been seeing Manon reposting on her IG. So it might come into play. This might be the fight. I mean, if y'all follow Manon, you can see on her IG, she's been reposting the call out. She's been reposting the call out on her IG. Valentina prefers to fight her and wants her next. So we'll see. But the thing is, Valentina's probably not going to be able to come back as soon as she thinks, because she said she was ready to come back in December, right? But she's probably going to have to wait till whenever Manon can come back since, she's the one coming off the injury, right? So it's not really her call by choice. It's just her call by injury, right? So she just has to wait. Valentina's probably going to have to wait till like mid 2023. So it's really going to be like a year turnaround for her, which is crazy. I think Val fought once last year, and she might fight once or twice this year. But I mean, I don't think she's ever gone like a year, has she? Since she's been champion. I mean, has she in the comment section? Let me know. Has Val? Hold on, let me see. Has Valentina? Last year was the only year she ever fought once, right? But every other year she's fought twice, right? Let me pull that up here real quick because I don't want to guess here because this is kind of a surprise, ain't it? Hold on. Because like I said, if she waits for Manon, if that's a fight that she really wants to wait for, you're gonna have to wait till she gets better. But yeah, she's been sharing it on IG, that Valentina wants to fight her. So maybe she's getting a different mindset now and saying, you know what, okay, well, I'm gonna go for it. And sometimes that's how you gotta do. I understand the want to get experience, but to me, there's big risks in this division, so when you get to that point, sometimes you just got to take it, right? Nah, man, that's yeah. This would be like, it could possibly be the second time where Val fights just 1 year. Hopefully not, but yeah, every other year, she was fighting 2 times a year. 2021, she fought 2 times. 2020, she fought 2 times, even during the pandemic. But last year she could only fight once because that was the only opponent they had, really, right? That's wild. But yeah, I'm sure though, if she does even fight Manon, she'll be able to squeeze in one more at the end of the year. By then, somebody will be, on a hot streak, and they'll just go ahead and give her another name or somebody that is close to being ready. But yeah, this is the one name she wants, and to me, that's the only thing about it. That's the waiting game. If we hold off, if she's willing to hold off, then let it be that fight with Manon. And if she feels like she can come right back after an injury, let it be that, right? Yeah. Jen said, I thought it was twice. No, that was 2021. She fought Lauren Murphy in September, and I think Andrade in like April. I just closed the record. I'm throwing the dates out because I kind of remember when I did that. I don't think I did a fight companion for that, but yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah, that was 2021. Yeah, she fought twice in 2021, and Tyler was last summer. She fought in the mid-year, And then that was it. So yeah, Valentina prefers Manon, but that's what she's gonna have to do. She's gonna have to wait until she can come back. She's fully recovered. And like I said, I'll take that fight. I'll take it. Because if you're number one, you gotta get it done. Right. But there's the other but. If Manon isn't willing and isn't ready, Valentina showed interest in the Grasso fight, right? That kind of shocked me a little bit. Yeah, she's been interested in a Grasso fight, though. Valentina's been showing a lot of interest in a Grasso fight. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but she has. I was looking at somebody retweeting. I don't even know who it was on Twitter, but you know when you follow somebody, it'll show when they like something or they retweet something. And somebody said that Alexa Grasso should be next, or she would be the legit competition for Valentina. And Valentina, Valentina, she either liked it or retweeted it. I can't remember when they said Grasso should be her next opponent, and she liked that, right? So I was like, oh wow, she really wants this fight. And then in the Schmo interview, she said, okay, well, if I can't get the Manon fight, Grasso's a good fight because Grasso looked good against Viviana Araujo. She was like, her boxing, her striking, she did a really good job in that fight. That's one that she would like. Okay. But there's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. I don't think Grasso's returning the same energy, right? Grasso is not returning the same energy in that. She wants to fight one more main event, one more 5-round fight. But she said if they gave her the fight, she would take it. Meaning if Mick Maynard said, you can have this fight, this it, Val is it, she would take it. But if she had her way, she would still go this other way, this opposite way. She didn't say it either that she wants Valentina 100%. Not at all. But Valentina, she likes it. She thinks it would be a good style matchup. I have to think about that for a minute. But I do think Grasso has some capabilities, of climbing higher, possibly getting some more W's at flyweight. But her being like overall test for Valentina, it's hard for me to see that. It really is. Kareem, what's going on? He said, get the likes up. Yeah, man, hit the like button for me. You got like 20 people in here. Do that for me. Gabriella, what's up? I think Grasso is somewhat of a big name at flyweight, so I think that's why she wants to fight her next. Yeah, she's looking at business, huh? Yeah, that's another thing. Like, she's targeting Grasso because she was able to headline, and the fight was one-sided. So I guess she also looks at the fact that she went in there and showcased good skills. See, Valentina's ready for somebody that could possibly be a test for her, that could show some technique, right? That could show some technique. And even though the fans, the simps out there don't, they just completely say Grasso has no chance. Shevchenko feels like that could be a test to her. And that's all that really matters, right? The person that's getting in the cage, right? If Valentina feels like Grasso would be an interesting challenge for her, they might look at that and say, well, let's get her in there next. So that's another target. That's another target for her. I mean, Grasso has really good boxing, and she's kind of been filling out at this weight now. She has been getting a little bit more muscle, a little bit stronger. But with her just really developing her jiu-jitsu and her wrestling, her clinch game, how much of a problem could it really be for Valentina? That's why I'm saying, like, I don't see this one as a big challenge. Like, you have to have like natural size, natural physical strength. You got to have what Tyler has, and hopefully what Manon could use in the fight. We know Manon is more of a striker, but I think in a Val fight, she would have to be more physical, more dirty and rough. That's what you have to do to really impose will on Valentina, and even Nunes, like if she gets a third fight, I think that's what she's going to have to do, really be in Valentina's chest. And I don't think Grasso really offers that. If Grasso's just offering the outside game, I think she gets picked apart. I think she could get in a few shots, but when she starts to fight at the timing of Valentina, she's gonna play the waiting game. And when she tries to step in, Valentina's gonna eyeball that range and tag her repeatedly until, much like Lauren Murphy, when that speed is just so blinding and you can't see one or two shots coming, it makes you rethink things, right? Lauren Murphy put it out there. I didn't. Lauren Murphy said it. Lauren Murphy said, hey, it was like being in there with Jordan. She was like, the first shot she got hit with, it was so quick. It was blinding. And she was like, I had to rethink things. I had to rethink the game plan, right? So that's what it's like. So Grasso, looking at her resume at 125, she's faced some dogs, but she hasn't really faced like a high level of skillful fighters, right? Like high level, like her last fight, Arujo was supposed to be a test, but that just shows you that Grasso's boxing was, and IQ was way above hers. It was way above hers. So no, that wasn't a good showcase where you could say Grasso takes it to the next level. No. JoJo finished her in the first round, and even JoJo landed strikes on her. So that's an opening right there. Macy's not really somebody that's going to prepare you. But who really is? Who really is going to prepare you? Grasso wants another 5-round fight. And I'm like, really? Like, I'm thinking about it now, and I was going through it today, and I was like, there's really nobody that's going to prepare you. You really just have to prepare along the way. Like, that's what they say. Like, you have to stay ready. You just have to stay ready. And like, the only way you can be prepared for her is to fight and train like a champion all the time. You really have to fight and train like a champion all the time. You just can't pick whenever you want to say, okay, I'll, go through this motion and training. We'll just work on this because it's an average opponent. It's a C-level opponent. We don't care. No, every training camp, every fight should be treated like that. It should be treated like that championship fight, And that's why Val gets where she does. Right? That's why all her fights are one-sided, because she goes in there and trains the same way, harder and harder each time. And it's always, the result that she wants is dominant. That's why I'm just saying, I'm looking at them now, and, Grasso is growing. She's growing and developing, but I don't really think she has anything that stands out. See, Tyler, to me, has some natural abilities, and she has some high-level jiu-jitsu and some Muay Thai and grappling early on in her career. I know a lot of people don't think her selection of opponents back in the day was harsh, but I mean, there's a lot of, unlisted fights that, these Brazilians have, and they get it in, they get that working. It's like as soon as they hit the ground and hit the mat, they hit it running. They hit that thing running. So it's like, yeah, man. Santos, when I first seen her, I was like, yeah, this girl gonna have some skills that's gonna give Val some problems. Will she win? I was like, I don't know. We'll see. But that's gonna be her toughest test. But Grasso, she's been in the UFC a long time, but it tells you something. She's been in the UFC a long time, but I haven't seen certain development in her skills where it could offset Valentina. Just being honest. I haven't. But Valentina, she sees something. So, hey, Grasso better be worried, because she a target now. if the Val fight, if the Manon fight don't happen, she said, hey, I want Grasso next. So, McMahon, he might be like, oh, okay, she want Grasso next. All right. Manon ain't healed up. We throwing Grasso in there next. But I'm going to be real again, man. I think they could push it out, make Val wait a little longer, and make Tyler and Grasso fight. Let's just do it that way. Tyler and Grasso fight for what is it? Title, for the title limiter. Yeah. Make them fight for a title limiter. Yeah, let's do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Grasso could work her boxing from the outside a little bit, but I don't know, man. I don't know if she'll have the strength to go in there and get some takedowns and do any big damage, you know. So we'll see. We'll see if it does happen. But those look like the fights that she really wants to get in before she gets a rematch with our good Tyler Santos, right? Okay, so hang on here. Let me read through some of these comments. Hold on. Robot Chicken, what's up? He said Val is one of the best fighters on the planet. How many flyweights would have that much success at bantamweight? That's a good question. Good question, meaning, we're really measuring her skill sets here, but I don't think Tyler could. I think Tyler could have some success at 135. Maybe even Manone, those naturally bigger fighters. But I don't see too many other flyweights being able to, you know, dominate like that or getting in that realm. Robot Chicken. But that just shows you how good her technical skills carry up. Lolita, what's up? She said, how much damage has Val taken? She has never really been beat up or dominated, but time wears and tears on a fighter who has been physical all their life. Yeah. Gabriel said, fight Grasso in March, fight Fiorot in summer, Santos at the end of the year. Ooh, that's a good schedule. That is a good schedule. What do y'all think about that? Let's talk about that for a minute. That's guaranteed to get her fighter of the year again. Hang on one second, yo. All right. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. She fought Grasso first, and then by the time Manone heals, Manone will be in the lineup to fight for her title shot. And then you could have along the way, Santos has to fight too. Along the way, Santos has to get in a fight too. She fights by the end of the year. So, because these fighters still got to be active. So, yeah, Santos will have to fight somebody in the meantime, right? But let's see. Yeah, Tyler Santos, though, man, she seems like the only one, though, right now that's legit ready, even though she suffered a serious injury in that fight. Even though she suffered a serious injury, she seems to be the one that's really ready to go. She seems to be the one that's really ready to take on Valentina again. And again, for, you know, um, Manone, I know the injury is stopping her right now, but even before that, with her and Grasso, it just seemed like, yeah, they had their mindset on doing a little bit more to get where they wanted to be. They weren't really as sure of themselves like Tyler, and I rock with Manone. I still, yeah, Grasso, good, good fighter. They're exciting. But when it came down to the championship, it just seemed like their mindset wasn't the same as Manone. Like Manone wants to do it. I mean, Tyler Santos, Tyler wants to do it again. You know, um, and off of an injury like that, I would like to see her take the time out because orbital bone fracture, and if you decline surgery, it could be really tender. It's only been 6 months, and she was ready to fight again. So I was like, wow. Like I wonder. She looks good, like in training. It doesn't really like it's affecting her, but like, how would it be, in the actual fight? How would it be this time around? When it gets touched, it's only been 6 months. So that's something to think about too. So maybe it isn't just that. Maybe it just isn't Valentina that's turning it down. Maybe the UFC is thinking about that too. Maybe they're thinking, let Santos heal up, maybe get another fight, and then we'll just kind of wait. We'll just kind of see how the eye is first, and then we'll wait for that rematch. We'll wait to book it. Which that's the only reason I would put it off. Like I would put the Tyler Santos fight off for her well-being. I would want her. I want to see her just let the eye heal up against a dangerous fighter like Valentina. Because think about it, Valentina, like I said, she's not going to come in with the more of a grappler mindset in this fight. She's gonna think of using her striking more. She's gonna be a rangy fighter in this type of fight. She's gonna pick her apart this time. She's gonna try to pick her apart. So she's gonna be landing clean on the eye for sure. So she needs to make sure that thing is healed up. So yeah, when you think about it, that aspect, that's the one reason why I'd want that fight with Tyler to wait. It has something to do with her physical well-being. Yeah. But when you hear that energy, you're just like, man, like she really wants it. Who else is going to get it? Like you got to give it to her, right? And what's crazy is she wanted to fight in December and Val wanted to fight in December. So it's like, why not just make it happen? But the thing too is, everybody's saying Santos lost. But now that she turned the fight down, I feel like everybody's like, oh, now, no, like Santos is a big risk. Oh, is she? I didn't know that. Y'all thought she got beat down in there. Y'all were talking about her eye got busted and everything. But y'all know for real. Y'all know Santos was a test for her. Y'all know it. Because I hear people now saying, oh, she don't want to take Santos now because it's a risk. Really? I didn't think y'all were saying that before. Y'all were saying she was beating her clean, but now she's the risk. This is Valentina we talking about. I thought she's supposed to be the best fighter in the world, right? Which, yeah, she's the most talented fighter. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you believe in her skill, you should know she just go in there and get another body on her resume. Because she ain't going to do 135 right now. And Manone don't want it. And Grasso don't want it right now. So let's think logical now. Let's think logical. So with them both wanting it in December, you would have thought they would have made that fight. And if somebody like Valentina likes to stay active, just want to get back in there and fight as soon as possible, she would have closed out this. She would have closed out this rivalry. She would have shut it down. She'd go ahead and shut it down before it turns into something, before it really gets crazy. You know what I mean? Go ahead and shut it down now. Close out the year and, go ahead and shut this girl up with the big ego. You know what I mean? That's how I think of it. That's how I think of it. Like, if you're a champion, you want to go ahead and take certain advantages. Take certain advantage of different things. Go ahead and say, okay, well, let me keep this in my playing field, whether it's in the cage or on outside. Got to think of business sometimes. It's a chess game. It's a chess game. Like right now would probably be the best time for her to get that rematch with Santos. While she's still tender, while she's talking mess, and and she wants it. No other injuries. She said it's healed up. So let's go ahead and make the fight happen. But the longer you let her wait too, she gets better. But like I said in my other video, I think Val is also prolonging it to make sure she's ready. Because she knows there's a danger there. Same way y'all fans are saying it's a high risk. She knows it's a high risk. That's why she's training. That's what we were all getting to right there. See? She knows it's a risk. So that's why she's prolonging this fight to make sure she's ready, because she knows this is a big physical fighter. Same way, what's her name? Amanda Nunes can be. So she wants to make sure she's prepared for this type of fight. So yeah. All right. The ego, though. I want to talk about the ego a little bit. Robot says, I don't get it. She's a risk because she's a natural bantamweight, but nobody was saying that when Miesha Tate was coming out to fight Val. Right. Yeah, right. Ravel said it's simple, though. Santos just doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve it. If he doesn't deserve it, who does deserve it? That's the best thing I can ask you right now. Like, okay, you got two things here. You got a champion who likes to fight. You got a champion who likes to stay active. Okay. She wants somebody to fight now. Who does deserve it? Grasso wants another 5-round main event. Manon just had surgery. Chikagan is not in the picture, even though she's in the top 5. She's not there. Who else deserves it? Tyler's done the best out of all of her title defenses, taking it to a split decision. I would say that, okay, she might have not have earned it, but she's definitely in a position to get the fight again. Right? Aside from the injury, like if her eye had not gotten fractured, if her eye didn't get fractured, who else is she going to fight? Like, let's say if she didn't get fractured, I would say, hey, it's still on her. She's the only other fighter. She's the only other fighter there that's ready and willing to do it. That's how I see it. And if your fighter wants to fight again, it's like, hey, you better take on the one that wants to fight you and the one that you had a tough fight with, right? Yeah, let's think about it. You got to think about that. And that leads me into the ego thing. Like, I don't see Santos having this big ego. Y'all are forgetting we're dealing with the fight game. You're supposed to have somewhat of an ego. You're supposed to have confidence. You're supposed to carry yourself high. It only seems like whenever it comes to people's favorite fighters that they don't like when somebody talks trash about them. You know what I mean? See, I like Valentina, but I like this energy Tyler's bringing as well. You know what I mean? See, I can go anyway with it. You know what I mean? I love the fight game. So when somebody like Tyler talks this stuff, I know where it's coming from, so I can respect it. But even Valentina, when she talking about this ego, I'm like, I don't see that. She got an ego too. She got one too. Even how she was addressing Wei Lee. Whenever she was talking about Wei Lee, she was like, here's how she said it. She was like, Wei Lee is big. She's strong. She's improved in her wrestling and her grappling. And then she was like, but when we fight, none of that's going to mean anything. It ain't going to mean anything, right? So she talking that mess too. She talking that good stuff too. It's like, you got to do it. You have to put yourself on the map. How else are you going to get your respect, and how else are you going to get people to look at you? So Tyler's not, showing some type of ego. She's just trying to let the UFC knows, hey, unlike some of these other fighters, I want to fight Valentina not once, but twice, right? That's what it is. You're supposed to brag like that. And like BJ has said, she a G. Tyler Santos is a G up there. 2B's, what's going on? He appreciated 2 spot. He said Tyler Santos by far deserves the next title shot. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she put up the best performance, right? Yeah. Rather said, why didn't Santos call out anybody after beating JoJo? Why didn't she call anybody? I don't know. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is that she fought Valentina in a good fight and she lost a split decision. You know what I mean? Like, she got the title shot. She was humble about it. She got it. So that's all it is. Like, it don't matter if she did call her out, right? It don't matter. Oba said Valentina earned her ego. It ain't really about earning the ego. It's about coming in with the confidence and the ability to get people to look at you too. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I think Tyler's earned hers as well, but it's not like she's using in this case to like bully. She just wants to say, hey, look, I'm the one in here that wants to do it again. I want to fight everybody. See, y'all can't have it both ways now. Y'all don't like it when fighters talk like this, but then you don't like when fighters say, I want one more fight. Which way do you want it? Which way do you want it? I'm serious, because it's like Tyler's saying the things you want to hear. But then when Grasso and Manon say they want one more fight, you get mad. Now you saying now you saying Tyler Santos ain't earned it. But what about Grasso over here? She don't want to fight. She said that she wants one more fight. She wants one more main event. Which way do you want it? That's all I'm saying, So if this girl is giving out the energy, she wants to do it again. Stop bad mouthing and saying, oh, she got to earn ego. She ain't got to earn it. Like I said, when you're a fighter, you come in with the ego. You come in with the ego. You earn your championship. You earn your props. You earn your respect. But the ego is yours. You're the only one that knows how good you're going to be and how good you are. Same with Floyd Mayweather. He earned all that respect. He came in with that braggadocio, He came in with that. It was just a matter of time before he beat enough people that people could see it and he could let it out. That's what it is. See, when people love one fighter too much, they can't open their minds sometimes. Oh, let me yawn real quick. Damn, where'd that come from? Lolita, what's going on? Appreciate that with the 5 spot. Lolita with the 5 spot. So yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Tyler Santos is in a position to get it, and she wants to do it. Hey, she even said she would fight Chikagan. She said I'll fight Manon too. In her last interview, she's like, I'll fight it, and I'll fight any of y'all. She's like, I'll fight any of y'all fighters. She was like, I'll fight the girl above me, which is Manon. And she said, I'll fight the fighter below me, which is Chikagan. She said, if it gets me there, I'll take it. And that's what you're supposed to do. You ain't supposed to say, oh, well, I'll let the matchmakers decide for me. That didn't go over too well with y'all. But now that the fighter wants to go into that smoke, into that fire, we have a problem. Like I said, for me, the only thing holding me back with Santos is her eye, not being 100% sure. So I don't, I have no issue. If she does it, if she gets it, that's her. So yeah, if it's none, if none of these fighters are ready, like I said here, if no one is ready, we're just going to be waiting. We're just really going to be waiting at this point. And you have to go with who the best is right now. You have to go with who is the one that's mentally ready, training, and prepared for what's to come. So yeah, if Val is not, if she's not planning to move up to 135 right now, why not? Because to me, if I had beat somebody by split decision, then that was the only fighter that I seen as a test, I would fight him again. I would. I think that's the only way to really shut the haters up at this point. Improve me. Well, not me, because I know the fight could go 2 ways, which I talked about before. But I'm just like, yo, if nobody else wants it, no one else is ready, this should be it. This should be it. Okay? But we'll come back if y'all got some questions on that. But here's a fun one here, yo. Look. And see, because while this fight is going on, while this fluster is going on in the flyweight division, where does Murphy and Andrade fit in all of this? Where do they fit in all of this? They fight next month. Lauren Murphy and Andrade. Now, this is a good fight. I don't want to hear nobody in the comment section talk about this fight. I don't want to hear nobody in the comment section, bad mouth. This is going to be a good fight. Now, what it leads to, it shouldn't lead to a title shot, but let's sidetrack and talk about a fight that we know going to end possibly in a knockout or a TKO. Lauren Murphy and Andrade. All right. Where do they fit in all of this? Honestly, I think that this is I think this is just another one of these fights at the top where it's just entertainment at this point. No knock to Lauren, but because she can still fight with these girls. She can still fight with the with the strawweights for sure. No, excuse me, with the flyweights for sure. She can still hang with the rest of them, but I think it's just a fight that's a entertaining fight. Stay busy. Lauren maybe trying her best to improve her skills and just continue to fight on for the place she stands. But that's about it for her. For Jessica Andrade, I think this was just where she answered the call. Jessica Andrade just answering the call right now. She wants to fight. She wants to get paid. The UFC called her and she said, "Hey, yeah, I'll take this fight." She's like, "Oh, Lauren Murphy, yeah, I'll take this fight," because her plan is to move back down to 115. So with her being ranked in both divisions, Andrade is in a good position just to get money right now. Get that money and always put herself in a position to fight for a belt, whether it's here or here again. You know what I mean? Like she wants to be in this type of position. She's one of these fighters that doesn't mind fighting and going, fighting between weights. I like that about Andrade. But really, I think right now, this was just kind of like a call to say, okay, we need a fight for Lauren. You're still ranked. Let's make it happen. And then 115 is still the schedule. It's still the goal. It's still the goal after this fight schedule. So, yeah, I think really here, there's really not much to say about Murphy or Andrade fitting into that picture. Now, if they were fighting Grasso or Santos separately, then yeah, they could be in there offsetting things. They could be offsetting things. Yeah, over Andrade Santos, that'd be a crazy fight. I would go with Santos in it though. So yeah, Andrade right now, a fight with Murphy doesn't really put her in a position to say, oh, she gets to fight Val again. It's just, getting it in, then moving back down to 115, because Lauren needed to fight, and that's about it. I would have loved to see Andrade versus Grasso, and I would have loved to see Murphy versus Santos. Those were the two fights I wanted, because Murphy would have been a good stay busy fight for Tyler. Just a good fight all around too, like good test. Actually, good test for her striking and her ground game, I think. But Andrade, that's the type of pressure fight that Grasso needed to just really break that ice and really make her try to get in control of a fight. I would have taken that for sure. Gabriel said Andrade versus Murphy probably face either Aaron or O'Neal. Ooh, yeah, that would be good. I would like to see Aaron versus Lauren and Andrade versus O'Neal. How would y'all like that? That would be good. Jessica Andrade versus Casey O'Neal and Lauren Murphy versus Aaron Blanchfield. That would be good. All right. So let me see here. I'm running through some things here I want to talk about. Yeah, so this fight's gonna be good. This fight's gonna be good though. Santos needs another fight. Yeah, I've been said that over. I've been like on that since July. Since she was talking about coming back, I was like, she needs another fight. But with the energy she's carrying and nobody else wants to fight her, I was like, okay, well, Val's got to take her. That's how I see it. But if I had my way, I'd be like, if I was a matchmaker, I would have matched up Santos and Murphy. You feel me? I would have said, these two need to fight. She needed the other fight to me, just to work on her striking and so on. But yeah, he said Andrade kills Casey. Oh man. We got to see it happen, though. We got to see it. No, seriously, though, I'm not trying to set her up. But if you want to talk big game, you gotta fight big game. Ain't that right? You talk big game, you gotta fight big game. That's what it's about. Oh, to be said, side note, Aaron is one of the most hilarious fighters that aren't trying to be funny. Really? What is it? The straight face? Is it the straight face and the way she's talking? Aaron is in my Aaron is in my top list of threats right now. Aaron Blanchfield, Manon, Santos. They're my top. Okay. So looking at more flyweight action here, we got another name that's being thrown in the mix now. Let's talk about this fighter right here, y'all. Ribas. So just what I was thinking, the UFC, of course, they had to go with the most logical fighter here. Ribas, I can't believe they were thinking of doing that though, man. You know, they were thinking of lining Amanda Ribas up with either Santos and Chikagan again. Well, we know she's fighting Arujo now, but they were actually thinking of giving her Tyler Santos, man. That is nuts. That was crazy, man. I was like, are they seriously going to give her 13 spots up like she's Sugar Sean O'Malley or something? You know, they were going to move her like, they're moving her like Sugar, what's his name? Yeah, Sugar Sean O'Malley. I was like, what's going on here? Look, I like Ribas, but not enough to go in there and say, like, it ain't even got anything to do with like here, okay? Like, because fighters I'm not even a fan of, I'll tell you they're a good fighter. Like Kobe Covington, he's a good fighter. I'm not a fan of him, but he's a good fighter, you know? But Ribas is one I like, but that don't mean I want to see her fight Tyler Santos or Chikagan again for that matter. That was nuts. You know, so when I read that interview and I saw the names, I said, okay, Arujo, Santos, Chikagan, I automatically said it's gonna be Arujo. And even then, that's a jump. Even then, that's a big jump for her. That's 8 spots up against somebody with power like her. Yeah. But it's actually more so winnable than the Santos fight. Could she beat Chikagan again? Possibly because of styles. Or not again, but could she edge it out this time? Yeah. But as far as her skill set, like just jumping up like that, wow. They're really pushing this girl. And is it because of the cojones? Like I said, is it because of did she got them like that? Did she got a pair like that? Is her pair that big above all the other fighters that make us say, yeah, this girl is going places? She's taking heads off. Not really, because she ain't done nothing at flyweight yet. Lost a close decision to Chikagan. Arguably could have won. Had a fight canceled against Tracy Cortez. That fight's not rescheduled. But somehow we say we're gonna make her jump all the way up to maybe fight Santos. Now they know that was crazy. They know that was crazy. They ain't even say Jennifer Maia. They said Santos or Chikagan again. So I think, the UFC, they're really ready for some stars. They're really trying to make some stars. But if they put her in there with Santos, she was going to be seeing stars. Let me put it that way. They want to make stars, but they're going to have this girl seeing stars if they're going to put her in there. She would have been like eating bricks and been looking at the sky. So I don't know. It's crazy, but the Arujo fight is in line for March 4th. I can't wait for that time again because it'll be spring. Cold weather will be going away again. Dang, that's right around the corner, ain't it? UFC 285. I'm ready. Who else is on this card? Let's see. Panay and Ricci. Jamie Pickett, Bo Nickel so far. Okay. Still putting this card together. Yeah, Arujo and Ebas. Arujo's 11-4. Ebas is 11-3. Both have some good ground game. I think in both black belts, right? I said that before, right? Arujo's a black belt. And Ebas is. But Ebas got her work cut out, man. Like, she can't come in. Look, y'all know Ebas don't strike like Grasso. So Viviane Arujo is going to take more chances in this fight. That's where this thing is going to be scary, okay? That's where this thing gets scary. Because Arujo packs that power. And y'all know, Oversid Lemos is not ready for flyweight. No, not at all. Her work need to be done in strawweight. Yeah. Who said she was ready for flyweight? She was stay. She going for the belt at strawweight. Got to. Anyways, Ebas ain't got no striking like Grasso. So Arujo will be in here taking more chances. And when she did take chances with Grasso, y'all remember she hurt her. She did rock Grasso with a pair. So think about it. Match them two type of styles up. One that can come forward striking. Wow. And I'm just imagining what Arujo can do with them big bombs. Now, if Arujo loses this fight, I'm gonna really be disappointed. See, I have to favor Arujo in this fight for 3 reasons. Her power. I think her speed and her strength are going to be big keys to victory in this type of fight. Especially her leg kicks as well. Ebas, she'll throw. She'll bang with you. She has a long jab. She will throw out them punches. And she's aggressive. She has heart. But I think her style just plays into what Arujo can capitalize on. Okay. So yeah, man. It's crazy, man. It's like they're really trying to push her. When you really think about it, they really are trying to push her because they don't have to make her fight any of these fighters. They can make her fight. Hold on. Over said Lemos at 125. Stop. Who is talking about Lemos at 125? Over? What are you talking about? It doesn't need to happen. Stop it. I said no. If I say no, that's it. Lemos no at 125. If anybody is talking about it, stop it. Her path is strawweight. That's it for now. Strawweight, period. Whaley versus Lemos. That is it. Lemos is not in the mix at 125. Doesn't need to be. She just fought her way up to 125. 115. She just fought up to 115 rankings. Okay. That's it. Okay. Again, what was I saying about Ebas here? Yeah, Ebas doesn't need to fight this fight. Ebas doesn't really need to fight this fight. Like, there's other girls out there for Chikagan. Chikagan and Santos could fight each other, right? Arujo, she could fight Aaron Blanchfield. Yeah, because I talked about that. I said Aaron Blanchfield and Arujo would be a good fight. Because, with Amanda Ebas being number 15, she needs to fight Calvillo or Andrea Lee or Jennifer Maia. That would be a good one. That's a good fight. Let's see, who else? JJ Aldridge. Even if it's unranked fight, I would rather see her fight those fighters. Those are some good fights. Overset Flyweight has all the young talent. Yeah, it does, definitely. That's why their skill gap isn't too far in it's not really too far off from the rest of the division, because you got a lot of good talent there. Oh, hang on. Gabrielle said, Combo also putting Ebos in the mix helps the UFC build O'Neal and Aaron and not rush them to the top. Once both of these girls enter the top 10, there are 3 or 4 fights for a title shot. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was thinking about that. I said, with Ebos maybe doing some of their heavy lifting, that gives O'Neal and Aaron time to work, right? Because it's crazy that you would jump Ebos all the way up, but you would never put it in your mind to make one of them fight Santos yet, right? It just doesn't seem logical, but it almost was logical enough to put Ebos in there. But why? It would be just to kind of hold them off so they can work and not rush to the top, right? Because, yeah, they're almost there. They're almost there. So they got to prolong it. Okay. You said, I think the UFC wants to put more big names in 125, more depth to it. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the Raviel said, I thought Cavill got cut. Nah, not yet. She's still in the rankings. Yeah, I thought that too. That's why I was wondering. Like, I did a video on it a couple of days ago, and I was talking about how, Valentina's getting older, and they want to have some potential stars in the background. So whenever the division starts to look like it's going to fade, you already got some potential stars like her, Casey O'Neill, Macy Barber, and all of them in the mix. Tyler's in the mix still, just in case, Val chooses to move up. If Val moves up, then, you got some big names, Ebos, Santos, and so on. Yeah. 6 said they need more bigger names at 125. Yeah, that's why they're trying to make one out of Ebos here. But they could get her hurt too. Shoot, that junk could get her hurt. You try to put her in the mix now, that'll get her hurt. Because she's not ready for Santos. But she could somewhat edge out a fight against Arujo. It's possible. It is possible. But it's still more likely that Arujo wins that fight to me. Mm-hmm. Casey versus Macy. Battle of the biggest mouths. Right. Them knuckleheads, man. They are knuckleheads. That's what I dub them, knuckleheads of the division, because they talk, boy. Macy said Aaron was just an okay fighter. I was like, what, girl? Are you serious? I like this energy, girl. You talking, but Aaron Blanchfield is not an average fighter. She's not just all right. Right? Can't believe she said that. Gabrielle said, who are the stars at 125 right now? I can't really say there's any like stars. You have potential. You have some potential there. But I don't really think there's any like, breakout stars. Like nobody even like on a Rose Namajunas level. Nobody even really like on a Joanna level personally. Like the biggest stars you ever seen were like Ronda and now Wei Lee. But like even Holly Holm. But I look at the next level of stars like Rose and like a Joanna. I don't see any like big stars. Potential would be like Grasso and Barber, and who did I say? Ebos. They got potential. Yeah, but the champion, that's the only one. Yeah, champion's the only one. Make sure you hit the like button. Got like 30 people still in here. We're just kind of talking now. Yeah, those are the points I was trying to get through. So I went through most of them already. So just kind of reading through the chat now. But yeah, that last question I said, is Ebos got the kahunas UFC's been seeking. I think so though. I think that Ebos has definitely got a lot of the things the UFC wants. They want somebody that fights everybody, that's aggressive, that comes with the energy, that wants to fight, just wants to fight. Anytime you call, she's ready to fight. And she's got a personality people like. 2B said Grasso and Silva, depending on Silva's progress. Yeah, Silva's got a chance. And, Silva over here bragging about her 100,000. Silva just hit like over 100,000 on Instagram. After that one particular fight, she's been climbing the ladder. So, the UFC's glad they signed her. She's at almost 130,000 followers now. And it's just been growing. So, yeah, Silva's got potential. Silva's got potential. But let's see, Grasso's got a main event under her belt now. So she's got potential too. And I think a lot of these fighters, they'll grow more so like whenever, she's at 478,000, Alexa Grasso as far as her followers. But some of these fighters, I think they'll grow more and everybody will start to pay more attention whenever, Val is retired or moves up to 135 to me. Lolita said Rose needs to move up to 125. Why is that? Has she gotten bigger? I know she talked about it, but I haven't seen her as of lately. She talked about putting on more muscle. Robot Chicken said King Casey got the potential to be a draw. Yeah, she's one I name. But I think the UFC thinks Ebos is what they've been seeking because, she can fight. She's got some good, well-rounded skills. And she's got a good personality that men like. So, that's definitely one. Gabriel said Eileen Perez a star. I don't think so. She wants to be. She pushes us. She pushes herself on us. But she ain't got no wins. She ain't got no wins yet. See, ain't nobody going to get behind that. It's the fight game. So, your knockouts have to add up to your twerking. They might give you a pass for twerking if you got some really good skills and you got a good look about you physically, right? It's all going to have to come hand in hand. But if you come in here just talking mess and you haven't even won a fight yet, nah, you ain't going to be a star. You might be a heel. You might be the favorite punching bag people want to see you get beat up on. That's about it. But I don't know. No, she's no star. Let me see now. Yeah, Ebos, though, if she makes some right improvements, she could be in the top 10 one day, the same way she does at strawweight. Work on her ground game, grow into this weight, fill out a little bit more, keep the same energy, keep it going. Because I remember whenever she was going to fight Chikagan, she was like, if I beat Chikagan, I might call out the title. I might call out the champion. Or she was like, I might fight one more fight, and then I'll fight Valentina next. And she was like, I just got here. She was like, I'll cut in line. Now, how many people have said that? Amanda Ebos said, hey, I'll cut in line. She was like, I'll gladly cut in line. She was like, let me fight Chikagan, and if I beat her, I'll fight one more fight, and I'll jump ahead of everybody and fight Valentina. So, I think they like that type of energy. That's why they've been really seeking to make some fights with her. Unfortunately, Tracy Cortez pulls out, and we don't get anywhere. That's crazy. Oh boy. Let's see. So yeah, let me read through some comments here. Okay, Gabriella said Yasmin Harigi as well as star power in the future. Yeah, I think she does too. Yeah, she definitely has star power for sure. Okay. Stamina says Rose shouldn't move to 125 for good years yet. She has no business there. No. And even then, in a few years, I see her hanging it up to me. By the time it would be time for her to move up, I think it'd be time for her to just retire. Like, I don't see her fighting her whole life away into her 40s. I could see Rose leaving right now and doing something else. I think fighting is more spur of the moment for her where she has to really get high for it. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think she does get high though, but yeah, get high for it. She has to get up for it. Mm-hmm. Eileen is a star of the close to Eileen is a star of the strip joint, maybe. If that. The only real challenge was largely considered, go well, everyone may as well just pack up and go home. No point anyone bothering to get out of bed. What was that? Oh, wait a minute. I see. You said Val's a half stepper. The only real challenge she faced was Nunez, and she's 0-2. Everyone else were just cans, if you ask me. Uh, Joanna's not a can. Joanna and Tyler Santos are not cans, and neither is what is her name? Jennifer Maya. None of them are cans. None of the fighters that Val fought are cans. But if you really want to look at legit fighters that were challenges, yeah, Joanna was a challenge at 125 for it. And so was Tyler Santos. It's just that her hard work translates. You can't knock that. Val trains hard. That's why her fights turn out to look easy. Train hard so the fight is easy. That's what it is. Train hard and the fights come out easy. Stamina said Velismus can be a fan favorite, a star, not so much. Nah, she ain't got potential. She ain't got star potential. Grasso will box up. Ernest said Grasso will box up Valentina until she gets taken down and crucified into a sub. Dang. What dream are we in? What dreamland are we in? Or better yet, what substance are you on, Ernest? Can't be a good substance because it's got you talking really, really crazy. Not a good substance. Gabrielle said, who are some WMMA fan favorites right now? I think Natalia Silva's a fan favorite. I think Yasmin Harigi's a fan favorite. I think Casey O'Neill's a fan favorite. Mackenzie Dern's kind of a fan favorite. Who else? Who else are some fan favorites out there? Grasso is. I think Alexa Grasso is a fan favorite. Molly McCann's a fan favorite. People don't want to admit it, but Molly McCann's a fan favorite. She's got a country behind her. Of course, in the strawweight division, Whaley's a fan favorite. She's a fan friendly style. She's very fan friendly. Yeah, Whaley. And yeah, I was just working my way from the bottom up here. But now I jumped up to Whaley's one. Who else? Who else is some fan favorites? I think Marina and Manon are fan favorites. And yeah, Andrade is. Yeah, Andrade's a fan favorite. Yes, I mean, yeah, O'Neal is a fan favorite. I gotta say she is. Like, I'm looking at somebody that draws fans, and I'm calling fans even. I'm calling even the haters fans in this case, like a draw. Like whenever people take time out to badmouth you, they're still showing you some love because they can't turn away and they still tune in to see you win or lose, right? So they still they're helping you out. So to me, that's still a fan. Like with Clarissa Shields, a lot of people hate on her, but those haters help you. They still help you. Irene Aldana, I think Juliana Pena is a fan. Yeah, I think she's a fan favorite. I think her style is fan friendly. Irene, to me, she doesn't fight enough though. I don't think she fights enough though. Yeah, I don't think she fights enough though. Robot Jake said, "No, Rose is the fans' favorite by far after her worst title fight. Still can't get enough. People still can't get enough." Yeah, she's still a fan favorite. Like she's still a fan favorite. Rose is. Does 135 have a fan favorite besides Holly and Nunes? Well, like you said, Pena maybe, but Irene, I don't think she fights enough to be like this fan favorite. I don't think 135 really does. Juliana Pena, yeah, that's it. But they're in dire need right now of getting some stars again. That's about it. Yeah, that's true. Stamina, like, it's too small right now. Like WMMA people don't understand it hadn't been around for years. Like something like boxing or just like the the male dominated part of MMA. Period. People will pay for those big fights. This sport's been around for a long time, and it's been proven and proven time and time again. Where hold on, I'm just putting something up. Okay, yeah, it's been proven itself. It has a hard ground to stand. It has a good foundation to stand on. Just like with boxing, it's been around years. There's always going to be pay-per-views because it's vast. It's big. Where WMMA is still really in its growing sport. It's still in its growing stage. It's not like WMA's been around for like since the 70s and 80s. This is the hottest it's ever been. This is that first stage of it. So it's not really at a point where it'll be like, oh yeah, we need to pay to see this fight. That's why it's still a reach now. People will say, where's Ronda Rousey? Where's Gina Carano? Let's see them fight. Let's pay for their fight. When they're already really done now. They're already done. But it's going to take some years and years for it to really become like this monster, uh this beast that people go to and actually pay to see. That's why I can't really put out the GOAT. Everybody talking about the GOAT, whether it's Amanda and Valentina or Cyborg. I'll shut that talk down because we don't really have like a whole era. We don't have like 4 or 5 different eras to choose from or really make that conversation. Got pioneers and stuff, but you don't really have a vast, a vast selection here. Like, with boxing, you can go from Joe Louis, Archie Moore, all the way up to Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, all these different heavyweights, and you can talk about it. But right now, we just got this era where, Valentina and Nunes fought each other. Valentina fought Nunes twice. Chris Cyborg fought Nunes. She beat her, and that was it. So that's the GOAT there to everybody. But it's like, no, like we got to let it play out. We got to let this whole thing play out because how do we know if she'll be the GOAT 20 years from now. We can't really stamp her with that yet. We can say she's the best fighter of this era because she got wins over all of them fighters. But, there's really not like this whole book written on WMMA yet. This is just like the pages. This is just like a couple pages. This is like a couple chapters. It's just a couple. It's not even. Yeah, it's like maybe two or three chapters. It's just two, 3 chapters of WMMA, where boxing has novels. Boxing's got a whole library of history. So, we're in a stage where, we can't really talk about big pay-per-views for women yet. So it has to go through certain transitions, and they have to just get better and better as fighters. They have to have more dominant champions like the men do, right? Because you talk about boxing with me, I go all day. I go all day about that. Here we have to say, you know what? Put a hold on that. There is no GOAT in this sport. Now, when people argue me about somebody like Muhammad Ali fighting Mike Tyson, who's the best out of them, I'm gonna say Muhammad Ali, but I got a lot to go on. You could back up your argument about Mike Tyson, but I won't agree. But you can go off of something. Claus said flyweight division only been around for 4 years, right? It's not that ripe. Strawweight's been around 8, not even a decade yet. Sports haven't been around a decade yet. These divisions haven't been around decades yet. So I think, with the women, now that I say all that, the women fights do have to be kind of on like a preliminary card too, just to kind of give people a taste of what it's offering. And then as they get better and better and better, they start being included as main events, which they are. That's kind of how it started. The UFC fight nights, Marina Rodriguez is headlining, Joanna's headlining, Alexa Grasso's headlining some. But, to really get the men fans, like that male demographic, it's going to take some years for like some pay-per-views till you see like 2 women cards, like a co-main event and a main event. They're going to have to really be doing some big numbers to do that. Oh, I can sit here. But James, you have legit arguments more so because you have more. You have more selection, but you can choose from more. You can choose from a lot of different fighters, and their arguments for like an Ali, you can definitely say that, or like a Jack Johnson, because of what they stand on and how long they've been around. In the sport, you can gauge it off of the whole sport too. You can gauge it off of the whole sport. Where this one, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it grow yet. That's why. Robot Chicken said, dude, I can't tell you how many prediction videos I watch when it comes down to breaking down the women fights. They dismiss it's insane. Like they don't belong. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch WNBA. I don't even watch the NBA, but I know where a lot of people come from. Like, I don't really watch basketball, but I know there's more fans of the NBA than there are the WNBA. I can see why. Like, basketball is a little different, but with fighting, I think fighting all around is on the same level. Like, the women do fight just as hard as the men. The women, they're putting their lives on the line with the same type of sport. I think it's different, because they're actually, it's full contact. You're connected. It's the same. It's the same across the board to me. Of course, men are going to hit harder, but they're fighting another man. Women don't hit as hard as a man, but their punching power will equal to something. It'll amount to something against another woman, right? So And they train just as hard. Train with the men. They go through the same wars, same type of work. So to me, yeah, the women in fighting deserve the same respect. Takes a lot to be a fighter. Robot Chicken said, I hate this phrase, never bet on women's MMA. I never heard that phrase before. Who came up with that phrase, Robot? Where you hear that from? James Perez said, I don't know enough about the history of boxing too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand, like, it's easier to, I won't say it's easier, but everybody can make an argument for who they think the GOAT is in boxing because they know the history. They can pick from different eras and say, okay, well, I'm basing it off of this. There's a checklist, right? Whereas WMMA, we don't know yet because we haven't seen enough. That's how it is for me. I haven't seen completely enough. Like, I've seen what Val can do. Right now, she's holding her own, but we don't know 25 years from now what somebody else can do. So I'm just kind of holding her into that staple for now. Is one of the pioneers. But of all time, we just have to wait. You just can't earn the GOAT moniker off of 4 years in a division. Well, in a division that's been around for 4 years, Mark Robinson, what's going on, man? Robot Chicken said, forget WMMA. They don't even dunk. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's different with basketball. It really is. It's different with basketball. Hell, a lot of women don't even watch WNBA. Women don't even support WNBA. I'm not saying he's not supposed to, but I'm just saying, like, even they feel some type of way. Like, they feel like there's a difference. Gabrielle said, would Manon still be around when Aaron or O'Neal reach the top? Yeah, she will. I think she will, Gabrielle. I think she'll be around. I think she'll actually fight one of them, or both of them. But yeah, Manon will definitely be there. And I think that they'll make her and O'Neal fight at some point. And I got Manon winning. Ravioli, I forgot who it was that was arguing with me that Bryce Mitchell is well-rounded. He can't strike. Nah, man, like, I never considered him well-rounded. He's scrappy, but he wrestles. He's good in the clinch, but striking. I mean, that fight was proof. Who was it? Somebody in this chat arguing that? Tons of predictors say don't bet on women's MMA. Why not? Why not though? It's a fight. You can predict who wins in these fights just like you can the men. It's all the same to me. You have your fighters that show up, and you have your fighters that don't. I don't understand that. Okay, Gabrielle said predictions who will enter the rankings at 115 and 125. Okay. I think at 125, I think Melissa Gatto is going to get in there. I think Melissa Gatto, Natalia Silva, and JJ Aldridge. I think those three will get in the rankings in 2023 at flyweight. I'm telling you, Gabrielle, 115 is hard. I told you. 115 is hard to choose from. It really is. Let me think. 115 in 2023. Yasmin Rahirigi said she actually wants to go slow and she wants to get in the rankings later on in like 2024 recently. But I can see her getting in the rankings. So I'm going to say Yasmin. I'm going to say Lupe Godinez and Velismus. I think they'll get in there at some point in 2023. Not right now, maybe down the stretch. But 115 is a little harder to choose from. Yeah, I'm going to go with Gatto and Natalia Silva for sure, though. I think Gatto and Natalia Silva for sure they get in the flyweight rankings. Yeah, Ernest said Bryce was exposed. Yeah, that was exposure. Zama said female fights are actually easier to predict. It might be because you watch them and research them really closely. Because maybe that's what it is for me. Because I know that the unranked fights are going to be the harder fights to pick from, but the top level and championship fights are a little bit easier to me. The lower level fights are harder. To be said, I enjoy women's MMA personally. I honestly have a hard time understanding those who have such disgust towards women's sports. Yeah, I don't have a problem with women's sports. I know the whole pay thing has been an issue with some sports, but when that comes in, I understand like the men are still dominating in that, so it's going to have to be gauged off of that. But when it comes to the women in actual combat sports for the UFC, I think pay should be the same across the board because they're on the same cards, they're taking the same amount of punishment and putting on the same type of excitement. And the women can be mixed in the UFC as far as putting men's cards with women bouts with men bouts, and they can go hand in hand. So I think it definitely is hard for it definitely is hard for me to listen to some casual fans when they say they don't understand why people like women fighters. It's hard for me to understand that because they work just as hard, and like I said, they actually got me into the sport. Ernest said Harigi versus Lupi. I'll go Harigi. Harigi versus Felismus. I'll go with Yasmin Harigi again. James said, for men, I would say JJ probably has the best case overall. Then you have Khabib, GSP, Silva, even though he fought too long, and probably DJ. Yeah, Silva and John Jones. Anderson Silva kind of became like Roy Jones, though, when he stayed around too long. They were great, still great fighters, but, they kind of stayed around too long. Like Silva and Roy Jones kind of have them same comparisons to me. Six said Jones is the GOAT and Rousey. I can't say. I can't say Ronda Rousey's the GOAT. Like, I can't put her in the same realm as John Jones, especially the way he's accomplished and how many title defenses he's made and the competition level he's fought. Rousey's the biggest women's star, but Rousey's not the GOAT. If Rousey was the GOAT, then I would say Mike Tyson is like the GOAT of boxing, which he's not. Mike Tyson was an entertaining fighter. He had a lot of power, but you got to look at his resume versus somebody like Evander and Ali, Lennox Lewis, and so on, right? She's a pioneer. Yes, Six, she's a pioneer. She broke the barrier for WMMA, but she's still not the GOAT. GOAT, we got to talk skills too. We got to talk skills and longevity. She's a pioneer. She's a star, and one of the biggest stars at that. But when you're talking about like actual statement making in a nice long career where you had some ups and downs and you come back and how you come back from adversity, to me, that's what a GOAT is. Like, I would even I'd say Ali is, but I could see where people would even argue Joe Louis. So you said Mike Tyson's your GOAT. I don't. I disagree with that highly. Off of resume and off of just coming back from adversity and so on. I mean, yeah, Mike Tyson's entertaining, but I would even argue Joe Louis is a GOAT over him. Six, I said Nunes is a purist MMA. So. She said, how many title defenses did Foreman have? I'm not sure. I could check. Hold on. It ain't record break. Wait a minute. Hold on. It ain't record breaking like Larry Holmes and them was up in like the 20s. Joe Louis had like over 20. I know he was the oldest heavyweight to win, the title. He made 2 title defenses before he lost to Ali. Yeah. He defended it 2 times, Chin, and then he lost to Ali. Oh no, Jack Johnson, yeah, he's yeah, here in my boxing videos, yeah, Jack Johnson, he's up there for me. Ali, I think GOAT is either him or Jack Johnson. Oh yeah, Ravioli, yeah, Lennox Lewis. He is in my. If I did a top 5 heavyweight, it's Jack, Ali, Lennox, Joe Louis, and Evander Holyfield. Those are probably my top 5 heavyweights. Yeah, Lennox Lewis. Oh man, he's basically from my era, so that's one I've always enjoyed. High five. He says, I'm his WMMA GOAT channel. Okay, I'll put that right there. Appreciate that high five. Yeah, Chin. First black heavyweight champion. Yep. Burns, I think it was his name. Who was his name? The Australian guy he beat. I forget his name right now. 6 said Ali was never a GOAT in my books. I don't. Yeah. Hey, to each their own. To each their own. I mean, I don't see how you don't think he is. Oh wow. You think Nassim is the most entertaining boxer? Wow. Roy Jones is more entertaining than Prince Nassim. Prime Roy Jones, to me, again, that's your opinion. But I'm just saying, I thought Roy Jones was a more entertaining fighter than Nassim. I think Nassim was Roy Jones is a hell of a lot more entertaining than Prince Nassim. And yeah, that's whenever Marco Antonio Barrera came along and, spanked him. Gabrielle said, when do you think Weili fights? I think Weili fights in the second quarter of 2023. I think. Okay, let's hope now. Let's pray. It'll be against Lemos. Claw said Rocky Marciano never beaten despite his small size for heavyweight. Yeah. He was 49-0. He was a hard hitter, very gritty, tough fighter. Fought a lot of old guys though. I've studied his resume. I've studied Rocky Marciano's resume. And definitely has some bricks in his hands, He's definitely a tough guy, but fought a lot of older guys, even like Joe Louis at an old point in his career, Archie Moore. Never got a chance to see how he would stand up against some bigger heavyweights. Really Rocky Marciano was like when the heavyweights were tiny, he probably would have been a light heavyweight, nowadays. But yeah, to fight a heavyweight back then, I got to give him a lot of credit for that. But he knew when to get in and get out. Gotta give him that. He knew when to get in and get out. To be said, what's your take on the Ariel Paddock situation? I was going to do a video talking about that. I think I talked a little bit about it with BJ the other day about the whole paying the interviews thing. Yeah, we got to look at that. We got to look at that one day, maybe tomorrow. I'm off this whole week, so I might have to come back and talk about that 2Bs. Because he was pulling out receipts and everything on it. Yeah, Roy's up there 6 when it comes to entertaining. I mean, he's like one of the most viewed boxers on YouTube right now. Like, I see him as a showman, not that entertaining ring. Roy Jones was a killer. Yeah. Like Hector Camacho, you know. How well would Barbara do at 115? And how about O'Neal if she moves down? I think Barbara would do okay. I think if Barbara moves down the right way, I think she could be a problem. I think if her strength carries down and her power carries down and she's able to throw more head kicks and be more of a kickboxer and still clinch, fight, I think Barbara could definitely make top 5. Because I'm matching her up in my head against who's there now. You know, Torres is out. Waterson's below. If she can beat Mackenzie Dern, or if she runs into Yan Xiaonan and she's able to dominate fighters like that, yeah, she could easily get in there. Ariel don't need to pay anyone to be on his show. I don't agree with Patty at all in that. He's giving fighters a platform to talk, and fans know some are great outside of fighting. Yeah, well, since you mentioned it, yeah, that's what I mentioned in BJ's stream the other day, 2Beast. I was like, I don't think Ariel needs to pay anybody. Like, I don't think anybody needs to pay anybody. Like, I would never pay anybody. You know, as small as my platform is compared to his, I would not pay a fighter to get on my show to give me more views, because I'm not here for that. I'm here to promote the fighters and to talk to y'all. Okay, that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk to y'all, and because we share the same interests. And if the fighter wants to be promoted, they could use my help by being on my show, because it seems WMMA fighters have some promotion issues, right? Let's be honest. But even on that level, like where Patty stands, Patty needs to be on Ariel's show more so. So he needs to reach out to Ariel so he can tell his story or promote his fights. He's not like this great fighter or anything. And even if he was a great fighter, I still wouldn't pay him. I ain't gonna pay you. Why am I gonna pay you? It's like, this is my job. If I'm Ariel, I'll be like, this is my job. Why am I paying you to be on this show? We're here to promote you. That's how it should be. I ain't paying no fighter. Like I said, I donate to fighters, like fighting camps, because I know they need the money. Some of these fighters struggle. So I'll donate. I do that. I'll sponsor a fighter. But just for straight up interview, no, I'm not paying no fighter to do it. I'm not. Any of the fighters have been on here and never paid them. Any of the fighters I interview, I ain't paying them. Even if it's a high level fighter, I'm not paying them. Nope. Yeah, Ariel said how. Oh yeah, I read that. Hold on. 6 said, is Tyson Fury the GOAT? No, he's not. Tyson Fury is not the GOAT. Because you got to think about it. He beat Deontay Wilder. A lot of people bash Deontay Wilder for not having boxing skill. So what does it prove for Fury beating somebody with no boxing skill, right? Nothing. I mean, I think Wilder's entertaining, but for the fans that hate Wilder, they say he's not a good boxer. So Fury beat somebody that's not a good boxer. That's not really anything to stand on. Lennox Lewis beating Vitaly Klitschko was amazing to me. He about lost that fight, but he stayed in there. He won on cuts. He busted Vitaly Klitschko up. That fight was a great fight. Lennox Lewis's last fight, but it was a great fight. It wasn't his best either. High Five said Rose ain't fighting Lamos. Rose believes she will beat Yan easy. So next year, Rose or Yan. Rose versus Marina was a good one. Sugar Ray Robinson was one of the greatest pound for pound too. Yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson, definitely one of the top fighters. I think Claw said Marvin Hagler. Yeah, Marvin Hagler, rest in peace. He deserves a lot of credit, man. Like, he was one of the fighters that some of these fighters in MMA need to look to. This dude never missed weight. Marvin Hagler, career middleweight, always in shape, always in great shape, always ready to fight, always ready to defend his title. Probably one of the best shapes in boxing. Never missed freaking weight. Always ready, man. Can't even remember how many times he defended his title, but Chin said Don King's the ultimate GOAT. Hey, Don King, ultimate hustler, boy. He got that money. Got that money. And I share a birthday with Marvin Hagler, so that's a good thing. Right? Yeah. Well, I just want to pull up a picture here. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Yeah, this guy never missed weight. Always in shape too. Look at him. Yeah, Chin, ultimate scammer, man. $400 million off of Mike Tyson. $400 million off of Mike Tyson. People really need to learn. Boxers really need to learn the business, man. They do. It's crazy. Yeah, Robot shit. He said he did him there. He did. Ravioli said Dillian White ain't really that impressive a win for Fury either. Nah, he's not. And think about it. Derek Chisora, he fought Derek Chisora 3 times and beat him 3 times. It was like, why fight him a third time? You know, why even fight him a third time? Yeah, Dillian White ain't not that impressive. Claus said that first round with Hearns was one of the best ever in boxing. Man, that round was crazy. You're never gonna see anything like that in boxing again. That first round with Hagler and Hearn, I mean, they had true dislike in that moment, in that 3 minute, that 3 minute round, man. It was crazy. Yeah. But let's see here. What else are we talking about? Chin said, who was the most powerful heavyweight? Who was Wilder's got a lot of power. Deontay Wilder's got a lot of power. I'm gonna say Ernie Shavers is one, but I'd say I think George Foreman. I gotta say, I think George Foreman was probably one of the most powerful. I mean, his jab alone, the damage his jab does. I don't know, man. I think George Foreman. Yeah, George Foreman was powerful, man. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, he said Ernie Shavers is pretty hard. I think, yeah. I think, man, it's like a tie between them two. I think George just didn't really have I think Ernie Shavers had better technique. George, he just swings with his whole arm and body. Like, he's so big that he's that powerful. You know, he's just that powerful like that. Over said George, yeah. Yeah, Wilder's boxing skills not. Yeah, Tyson Fury is not. He said he's a weight bully. Gabriel says Suarez, O'Neal, Barber. Do they become your triple threat at 115? Suarez. Let me see. Suarez and Barber could, but not O'Neal. I don't even know if O'Neal can be at 115. Really, like, something about Barber's shape. Barber seems a little bit more in shape like to go down that route because she has been linking up with a better nutritionist, and she's just really been getting to a point where she's losing a lot of the midsection and the hip weight. You know, she's gotten smaller. O'Neal doesn't really show like she's just. O'Neal doesn't really look like Yawan or somebody that's long and lanky, like she can move down in between. I need to see what she would look like at that weight. I think she's fine at 125. As far as it's been 4 years, so that's another one that I'm not sure of. But I'd like to see her get back in the mix. He said Foreman's 100% harder his hitter. Yeah, Foreman's a beast. Wilder's mainly on his right hand, but yeah, like I said, Foreman's got the right, and he's got that telephone pole jab. I wonder. Let me show you what George Foreman did to a guy's face. If anybody's seen this fight, I seen this fight when I was a kid. Oh no, that's what the guy did to George Foreman. Never mind. That's how grueling that fight was. No, he did some damage to his face too. Let me see. Yeah, George actually looked bad in that fight, but the guy he was fighting looked bad too. Oh. All right, hold on. Can't find it. Gary said, when do you think Suarez comes back? Maybe in the summer. Suarez actually coming back first quarter 2023. So it said. Yeah, I don't think anybody's beating Fury right now, 6 either. Like, I don't see any heavyweights that stand out, man, like before. Usyk beats Fury. I don't know about that, Zaman. Anthony Joshua landed some pretty good punches on Usyk. I mean, if you can lay on Usyk and hit him in his body, which Fury can do, you take his legs away, he doesn't really have much power. He's a good boxer, yeah, in the lower weight, cruiserweight, but I don't see him doing much damage to Fury. Yeah, Hagler was on a lot of commercials. Yeah, he moved to the Philippines too. No. Yeah, he lived in the Philippines for a while. He did a lot of movies over in the Philippines, but he moved to Italy, I believe. Yeah, he stayed in the Philippines for a while, became an actor over there, and then he went. Then he lived the rest of his life there, and I can't remember what city in Italy though. He stayed in Italy. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, but after the loss, he had moved. Is Mazo still in the UFC? I think she is. Somebody told me she was. Because I remember doing a video about her being cut. No, she's not. Oh, she's not. Oh, okay. She got a fight lined up. Because I did a video where she was cut. And then somebody told me, no, she's not cut. But apparently she's okay. Mark Smell says she's back in LFA. Okay. I guess the question is, will she be back? Yep. It should be back to head kicking people. Should be back to head kicking people in the LFA again. That's what got her there the first time, right? LFA, boy. Yep. Got to go back and get to work in. Yeah, she lost to Miranda last, right? Got submitted by her and Agapova. How well will Ilima-Lei do in the UFC? I don't. I, I don't see her being in the top 10 or top 5 in the UFC, Gabriella. Honestly, I don't. I'm gonna be on tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the Bellator flyweights tomorrow. We're gonna do a stream talking about them tomorrow. We gotta talk about them tomorrow because I've been a little disappointed. I mean, there's fighters I like over there, but they just haven't been showing up. Yeah, I've seen some fights before then, TJ. Yeah, I've already seen some fights before then, but Ronda put the sport on the map. Can you name any of them fighters that you would call like real stars though? Like Ronda's really the one that did put it on the map though. Whether you like it or not, you're not a fan. Women were fighting before her. Women were fighting before her, but she is known as that pioneer of WMMA in these organizations like Strike Force, UFC, and so on. Like nobody knows any of the girls you mentioned or that I'll mention. I don't think she's a GOAT now. I don't think she's a GOAT at all. Dakota Dechiva needs to get in some more work. She's still young. She's getting some knockouts right now. She's looking good with her striking, but I think I need to see her takedown defense a little bit more. Yeah. Dakota Dechiva, I like her energy. She could be a star. She's a potential star. She's confident. She's got a look. She's got a look that the UFC demographic would love. So Dakota is definitely a fighter that could be an upcoming star. So the UFC would definitely sign her. Like, let's say they build a flyweight tournament around her. She becomes a millionaire. She wins a couple of times. She's going to go to the UFC. Possibly by the time she gets there, who knows if Val will still be around because, she's still young now. She could become that next big thing over there in the UFC. But yeah, Dakota Shiva, she's good striker, good power, good stand up. Just want to see her tested with some grapplers, as she moves forward in PFL. Honestly, maybe, yeah, if they were going to build flyweight, Teresa Blader could have went over there, because if you're going to have like young, hungry fighters, that would have been a better place maybe. Whenever, the Contender Series didn't sign her, I thought maybe PFL could have picked her up at the time. Who put Rose in the GOAT category? No, Rose not a GOAT. Good fighter. Definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. She's got the Hall of Fame stats. But, there's a lot of champions in boxing, but, when you start talking GOAT, that's a different thing. I'm just reading the comments here. James said you can make a case for someone to agree where it's mostly objective. There's some fighters you can't even really make a case for though. To me, there's just some that and some you don't. Like if you have to reach and argue about it, I don't. Well, if you have to really explain on some fighters, I don't think they should be in there then. In this situation. All right. So, what else is going on this weekend? Nothing but Cheyenne Valismus and Corey McKenna. That's the last fight we have for 2022. And yeah, that's it when it comes down to fight. Gabrielle said predictions who will be cut from the UFC rosters. I don't know. I think Estela Nunes might be one. Estela Nunes might be one because she's what 0-3 in the UFC. Who else could be cut? Casey needs this win against Jazzy Vicious. She's pushing like how many losses is Courtney Casey pushing now? Yeah, she's 10-10. And at flyweight, she is 2-3 right now. Yeah, she's 2-3. So maybe Courtney Casey. Six. How about Waterson being cut? I don't think Waterson will be cut. I think she might retire before she gets cut, or she might fight out her contract before she actually gets cut. Marcus said Hannah Goldie needs to be cut. I thought she was. Do you think Angela Lee ever signs with the UFC or no? I don't think she will. Personally, I don't think she will. I think, her star power is pretty, it's pretty steady, consistent where she is. The money's good. The level of competition suits her. Yeah, I think she's comfortable there. I know she's about 26 years old, but she's coming along pretty well from where she stands right now. I thought Goldie was gone for real. Yeah, Chin said I think Lee belongs in one. Yeah, I think so too. I think her and like Stamp, I think they kind of are like the face of one. Marcus Bell said Belbita needs that cut. Honestly, Tabitha Ricci, she possibly could. Tabitha Ricci, no. How many wins did Tabitha Ricci have? It depends. Let's see what type of year she has. All right, Colostrum. Okay, Colostrum says his comments never showed up. I see his comment right here. He said, "Who should Yasmin fight next?" I'd say Lupi or Demopoulos. I'm gonna say Lupi or Demopoulos. Nah, yeah, Lupi or Demopoulos. I want to see her ground game tested. I want to see her takedown defense tested because she said in a recent interview she's not looking to move into the rankings yet. She still wants to develop, and she's only 23, so I got no problem with that. I think Jen wants Poliana out of the top 15. That's why she won. Jen said get Poliana out of the top 15. She said get Poliana out of the top 15. I mean, I don't understand why she there myself. No, let's give Carolina to Angela Hill. She won that fight, so let's give her that fight. But Poliana, I know what you're doing there. I know what you're doing. I support it, but I think I want to see Lupi and Yasmin first. Yeah. That was a name. That was a name I mentioned, Gabriella. Do you think Oliveira gets cut? Yeah, that was a name I mentioned a little while ago. I think Oliveira could be on that list. Yeah, I need to see her ground game closer. I need to see her ground game and takedown defense. So I would put her in there with somebody that's going to try to take her down. Like Demopoulos, very dangerous on the ground. Not on the feet, but on the ground. She can submit you. Story Ranko's another one needs to go. I thought Story Ranko was gone. Some of these girls, I thought they were gone. I thought Story Ranko was gone. I thought Hannah Goldie was gone. Kosum said Yasmin versus Verna Jandaroba. Dangerous fight. Right now, see, that's why I'm saying she need to fight some unranked fighters. Because honestly, right now, I'm gonna pick Verna. Verna would win that fight. This version of Yasmin. So I think Yasmin would need to do some things against some lower level grapplers first. I know Verna's in the bottom half of the top 10, but I think she is very dangerous when it comes to certain positions on the ground. And her right hand is good too. She got a good right hand. I think Yasmin would go the distance. I think she would get in some shots, but Verna, she know how to slow that pace down. She's got some good takedowns. She's pretty good on this level. If you want to ignore the stoppages after the other, then sure, Nunez to go. That's just not everything until the street consideration, huh? Oh, I told you I ain't arguing about no GOAT. Is Leonardo still in the area? Yeah, I think she is. Leonardo is still in the UFC. Clostrom said, who should Juju fight in her UFC debut? Oh, man. I did say Jazzy, but Jazzy Vicious is fighting Courtney Casey now. Juju versus Corinne Silva. Gotta make it happen, right? Corinne Silva's got 100% finishing rate. I mean, she got some losses, but yeah, Corinne Silva. I mean, you're talking about the tough winner, right? So Juju versus Corinne Silva or Montana. Was that Chin? Yeah, Montana. Marcus Bell said Montana. Yeah, Juju versus Montana. Probably those two names. Yeah, Montana. Does Antonina get cut? Whew. Honestly, y'all, I think Antonina would retire before she actually gets cut because of her reputation. She's been posting a lot of pilot photos lately. She's been on that pilot tip. So, what if they did Juju versus Antonina? Chen says Suarez. Suarez. I think I would go with I'd definitely go with Suarez in that fight, but I think Juju versus Corinne Silva, since that's the name I can think of that's open, that would be good. Straight, what's going on? Oh yeah, Manny Bohm's in there. I can't pick Bowman. I've been right thus far. Yeah, Manny. No, JJ Aldridge and Arian Lipsky are fighting next, right? Juju versus Mandy Bohm. That's going to answer a lot of questions. Wow, Stray. I can't believe you remember that. I forgot about that. It should Shakarova's suspension, man. I forgot all about her suspension, man. How long was it? 2 years? When did I do a video on her? That was it's like that's kind of how it was, I think, when Amanda Lemos had got suspended before. It's been over 2 years now. It's been, it's been a little over 2 years. Let's go ahead and look at it, man. Hold on. Stray is worried about his favorite fighter. She got to be your favorite fighter, man, if you mention her like that. Dang, I forgot, man. That's good. Yeah, 2 years suspension. It should be up. It should be up. Yep. USADA suspended her 2 years ago. Back in well, no, this article was done in August of 2021. So when was she actually suspended? Oh, yeah. No. She'll be eligible to she'll be eligible to compete again December 5th. Her suspension is up. I know everybody wants to know, so I'll put that on a community post, okay? All right, yeah. She's eligible now. All right. So this article was from over 2 years ago, but I found the answer. Here we go. She will be eligible. She will be eligible. Eldor, what's going on? She will be eligible to compete December 5th. Colostrum said Marcus trying to get who said to the chat? Oh man. Natalia Silva versus Agapova. Come on, man. Agapova doesn't deserve that, man. She deserves at least one win, man. A confidence builder. The way Natalia Silva is feeling right now, Harigi versus Fortino or Loma. I think she wins the Loma fight. I think she mixes it up and she's got more power. And that's the thing about Loma. Like, Loma is a strong fighter, but some of these bigger strawweights will give her problems. Like, she's not that much bigger, but I think Harigi is definitely physically strong, I think. I'm going to go with Harigi in that fight. I think from the range, she could win a fight against Loma. Combinations. But Loma has improved in some of her wrestling. I will say some of her wrestling positions. Yeah, make Molly versus Agapova. That's a good fight. That's a good fight right there. Ain't nobody said anything about the belt. Ain't nobody said anything about it being a top 15 contender fight. It's just a good fight. You know, I like to enjoy a good fight sometime. You know, it ain't got to be for a belt. Like Cachoeira versus Lipsky. That was just a good knockout. You know, somebody was going to get knocked out. It was just a good fight. But that one, that's a good fight. I would say loser leaves town. But no, Meatball ain't going nowhere. Harigi versus Andrade. Oh, yeah, really? You trying to get my girl hurt? Andrade, right, as of now. I think when she develops her jab and her slower pace, she could kind of fight like Joanna. And then I would say she could win. But right now, I think Andrade, her strength and pressure would be too much. And her IQ, actually, I think her choice of where to take the fight could throw Harigi off. Marcus said, I'm looking for a striker to fight Natalia. Same here, man. I want a striker now. She already fought 2 grapplers. Let's say Natalia still. I wanted JJ Aldridge or Lipsky. Who is a striker at the bottom? How about Jillian Robertson? But a striker that isn't ranked. Marcus said Jillian Robertson. That's the best striker that can on the lower level, right? All Agapova needs is Aaron in her corner, and she will win. Oh man. Robot Chicken said Natalia is pretty good. Marcus Bell, give her Murphy. Let Laura Murphy get by. I'll drive first. Natalia Silva versus Priscilla. Natalia Silva versus I go with Natalia Silva in that fight. If Luana Carolina can outstrike her and even put her down, I think Natalia Silva can do it. Natalia Silva ain't gonna bang. She gonna look to use them legs and angles. I'll go with Silva. On the ground too. If JoJo was still around, we gotta go with Silva. I'm a JoJo fan, but at this point of their career, I'm gonna go with JoJo. Marcus said if Murphy beats Andrade, she's gonna have a strong argument to get another title shot. Yeah, especially if she does it like dominant fashion, if she does it in some crazy fashion, like actually beating Andrade up and stopping her. Let's see if she calls for a title shot, or let's see if she calls out like Tyler or somebody. Okay, so who do y'all got, Velismus or McKenna? Stray's got Velismus. I'm kind of leaning towards Velismus myself. I think McKenna's a little bit more well-rounded, but I seen some video of Luana Carolina Gabriella training. Watch them make Luana Carolina versus Juju. Or watch them make Luana Carolina versus a Montana. She's been training. She posted some training footage not too long ago. Well, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Oh no, she posted up some a couple hours ago. Working on her boxing. Somebody's going to fight Juju. It's going to be Luana Carolina or Montana, or they're going to wind up fighting each other. I know BJ's got Corey McKenna. I like Velismus'. I like both of them. But I like Velismus' style a little bit more. TJ said, I hear you, but what you're saying would be like someone calling Megan Anderson a pioneer because she's the first female fighter that ever caught their attention. If you're talking about pioneers, no, that's different. I think a pioneer helps build something. You know what I mean? There's a big difference. Like you could have some other fighters that have been around first, of course, that are going to be known, but it depends on what they're doing. Like with Ronda, she was able to not necessarily start the sport, but she helped put the sport on the map, right? So Ronda Rousey in the early stages of WMMA still helped put the sport on the map. So that's like a pioneering move, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the first one in the game, but when you help make something better, it's like in my company, man, like there's pioneers there. Like the company's been around, but when you pioneer for something new, in new ways that something can be done, and you're adding in like a new way of doing things and making plans, that's what you're pioneering something. So that's why you say Ronda Rousey did something that helped everybody see it. Because before that, there was women fighting, but nobody was really seeing it until Ronda put it on the map, right? Whether you like her or not. Chit Chat said, what do you consider the biggest WMMA fight? Like that's past? Probably the biggest WMMA fight, like as far as money wise, was probably Ronda and Holly Holm. That's probably one I consider like the biggest fight that everybody paid for and came out to see. I would say, yeah, that's probably the one. But going by the numbers, the one that turned out to be one of the most entertaining in the UFC is probably Weili and Joanna. Weili and Joanna, they put on a war. Natalia Silva versus Victoria Leonardo. Juju versus Gatto. I'm gonna have to go with Gatto in that fight. And again, I'm gonna pick Silva against Leonardo. I think Silva does what Manon does, excuse me, but maybe a little bit sharper. Because she has been a little bit more sharper with her punches. And the path is already there. The blueprint is already there. Yeah, we said Juju versus Karine Silva or Gatto. Silva versus Leonardo. Yeah, Silva versus Leonardo, I'm going to go with Silva. But Juju versus Karine Silva, that one is tight. But I think I picked Gatto over Juju. Shin said Rose Carla 2 was the biggest fight. Oh, yeah, my bad. I forgot about that one. I wonder why. That one really slipped my mind. Marcus Bell said, I still haven't gotten over Ruiz putting Velismus in that headlock throw over and over and over and over and over again. I added those overs. Yeah, she did, man. Yeah, I like Velismus, but yeah, I definitely ain't gonna forget that. I definitely ain't gonna forget that about her. Same way I like Karolina Kowalkiewicz, but there ain't no way I'm gonna forget what Andrade did. Ronda took one for the team. Zama said Juju runs through both Gatto and especially Karine. Oh, here he go again. Here he go again. You always got something to say about Karine Silva. I don't think she runs through Gatto. How does she run through Gatto? He can't. Man, how does she run through Gatto though, man? Come on. I'm not gonna listen to that. Lolita said Ronda versus Gina now. Who wins at their present weight? Oh wow. Who wins now at their present weight? I can't even say. I couldn't even say. I can't even be honest about who I would think would win that fight. Because I've seen Gina Carano now. Chit Chat said, as of right now, is there any woman with potential to be a crossover star? If Weili continues to work on her English, I think she'd be like a crossover star. I don't know. It's tough to say if Valentina's already reached her peak as far as being a star, but she could be like a movie star. She's only been in like one big movie with Halle Berry, but I think Valentina needs to play some more like Bond villains or some type of Mission Impossible villain, or become like a stunt coordinator or like one of those fight choreographers. So it's like Val could still do it at some point, but the years are sliding by. But I think, Weili, the more she improves her English too, like she could be like a crossover star, get some movie parts. And I'm not being funny, like something like they got a Rush Hour 4 coming up. She could pop up in that as one of the, the fighters in that or something. Seriously. They're making another Rush Hour 4, and I could see Weili popping up in that. Tell me y'all wouldn't like to see that. Gabriel said, I think Jan versus Weili can be a good fight. Exactly. I don't think it should be the whole, I can't fight because we're both from the same country. Yeah, Jan versus Weili would be a good fight. Got black fighters fighting all the time. Got white fighters fighting all the time. Got Mexican versus Mexican. You got two brothers from Philly fight. Two white guys down from Alabama fight. It's from the same state. They don't care. They want to go for the belt. China versus China. I'll take that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Chin, I'm just saying Whaley and Rush Hour 4. Whaley plus Rush Hour 4, that's gold right there. If they do that, yeah. Straight said Ronda's an expendable now. I watched that movie. My son had to look twice to make sure it was Ronda. Yeah. Yeah, I remember she was in that. Yeah, she was an expendable. So, Val, jump in some of them, you know, special agent type movies. Same with Whaley, it can be done. They had a lot of fighters on Cobra Kai. What was it? Eric Anders, Wonder Boy, Teron Woodley. But something like that, man, I just keep on. Something about that just keeps getting me. Like now that I mentioned Rush Hour 4, if Whaley wants to be like a star, she needs to be in that. Like I don't know, I love to see that. Playing one of those, villains or something, whooping on Chris Tucker or something. That'd be crazy. Gabriella said, which two fighters can have similar fight to Whaley and JJ and Whaley? Ooh, let me see. A similar fight? Let me think. See, Andrade got too much punching power to end the fight, so I can't really say her. Let me think. Mm. Hmm. Somebody that would have a similar fight to JJ and Whaley. Hmm. I keep thinking somebody like Marina. Hmm. That's a tough one. That is really tough because it's hard to see anybody. Like I seen Marina get marked up. We seen her get marked up and her just, still fighting hard. But let me think. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think Yasmin Harigi's style is kind of like, she has that kind of hand speed and that type of grit. Um, if you ever seen Lupi and Vanessa Demopoulos fight, they did it before in LFA the same year. So if they do it again, they might do it. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna cheat and say Whaley. No, I'm gonna cheat and say Demopoulos and Godinez a rematch. I know y'all remember that fight. If y'all haven't seen that fight, y'all got to see. I know Marcus Bell has seen it. I talked about it 2 years ago on this channel. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I just want to show y'all what they look like. Wait a minute. Demopoulos. This girl got the most difficult name to spell. Yeah, because I think I reached out. I didn't reach out to Lupe, but I just said something about the fight, like good fight. And, we talked a little bit. She responded. Clostrom said Pena versus Aldana. I like that fight. Personally, that's the fight that needs to happen if they really want to go ahead and decide who gets that belt, the chance at the belt. I know Pena wants the third fight, but Aldana's in there. I think I'm gonna go with Aldana. No, you know what? It's 50-50, bro. I'm gonna go with Aldana in that fight though. I think Aldana could win that fight. Who should Tatiana fight on her return? I think she should fight Korean Silva, honestly. I think I said that a little while back. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that name. Tatiana versus Korean Silva or Tracy Cortez. Or is that too big of a name? Or is that too big of a challenge? Korean Silva. Korean Silva or Gatto? Korean Silva or Gatto? Fantasy fight between 115 and 125. I think my favorite fight would have been, I would have loved to see Suarez and Andrade fight at either weight. And I know some people will say I'm crazy, but I like to see Chikagan and Joanna fight. I like to see Chikagan and Joanna fight, and I like to see Suarez and Chikagan and Joanna, Suarez and Andrade, and Santos and Manon. Those are some fantasy fights that I would like to have. Harigi and Grasso, I would go with Grasso right now. Yeah, I'll go with Grasso right now. Marina and Harigi, I'll go with Marina. Yeah, I want to see her slow her pace down a little bit more. Chit Chat said, if you could build a 5-fight main card for all women's pay-per-view, what are the fights? Fighters can be from any time period. Oh, okay. That's a good question. Okay. For the main event, let me see. Any time period. Let me see. Okay. I want Andrade and Suarez on the card. Andrade and Suarez to be on the card. All right. That's one fight. I'd have to put Joanna in there because I have to see. Gotta have Joanna in there because the way she fights too. I'd say Joanna versus because it's Suarez Andrade, Joanna versus dang, Marina. I want to see Shevchenko and GDR. That would be a good fight on an all women's card. Okay. Oh man, I'm trying to think on the fly here. 5 fights though. Man, that is hard. Harder than I thought. It really is. 5 fights. Jeez. Because you got to have somebody Joanna in there because the way she fights. Let me think. Marcus said my fantasy fight was Nico versus Avila. Yeah, that's a good fight right there. Yeah, I would like to see GDR and GDR and Valentina would be on my like all women's pay-per-view card. That would be a good fight. And Andrade and Suarez and I'd say Joanna and Marina. Put them on there. Oh yeah, I always wanted to see Holly Holm and Juliana Pena fight. I'd put them on there. Yeah, that's a good style matchup. And definitely gotta have some fighters that's gonna draw some blood on there. He said main event would be JJ versus Wei Lee 1 again. Yeah, that's a fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. Yeah, like it's hard to find 2 women with that type of intensity. That's what I'm looking for, like with that type of grit. I mean, there's a handful, but when Wei Lee and Joanna went to war, They were just like in a zone. They was in the zone, man. Mastermind said GDR would slap Val up and we slap Val and stand up. He said he slap her up. Undefeated Ronda Rousey and Cyborg. Come on. I was kind of avoiding that one because I would pick Chris in that. I think that would be Chris easy. Back then, I think it would have been Chris easy. I would have rather seen Ronda and Juliana Pena or something because I think Chris Cyborg taking her out. Oh yeah, I want to see Macy Chiasson and Megan Anderson fight. Macy and Megan fighting. Them two big long featherweights throwing bombs. Who gets knocked out? Yeah, that's one I'd want to see. That's what I'm saying, Chin. You know, Cyborg, I think she would have gotten Ronda out of there back then. All right, Stray is out. Oh yeah, that was a good fight. Yeah, Clostrom said GDR versus Cyborg. That would have been a good fight, but GDR was scared. Man, that would have been a good fight. I wanted to see that fight back then. I was a little. I took a lot of points away from GDR for that one because she had won the belt, right, and then she vacated. Did she have a hand injury? She said at the time, something like that. All I know, she was out. I wanted that fight too. That would have been a good one. If she was going to be on her game, I think GDR would have lasted longer than Ronda too against Chris Cyborg. So who wants to see Montana and Jillian Robertson as a fantasy fight? Any takers? Any takers for that? I see a silent room, Marcus Bell. Even I'm not answering that one. Mastermind said my fantasy fight is Nunes versus Tyler. Okay. I think I'll go with Nunes in that fight though. Yeah, that's a good question though, Chit Chat. I gotta think about that. That was a good question he asked though. If you could build an all WMMA pay-per-view card, because you gotta think about it, it's gotta be stars too that people would want to see. It's gotta be some gritty fighters that are gonna draw blood. And relentless fighters too. So any time period too, you got to dig. I'm gonna do a video on that. I think I will. Ooh, Santos versus Rocky. Ooh, that's a tough fight right there. Rocky Pennington's a good boxer. And she's a good clinch. She's good in that clinch. It might be boring, but her clinch is very dangerous. Oh, don't do that, Claustrum. He said Josiane versus Chelsea Chandler. Oh man. Whew. Oh man, that's a tough one to pick. I like both fighters, but oh man. They're both southpaws too. They both got power, but man, Josiane is built different, man. Oh man. I think Chelsea's got a better ground game, I'll say that. But Josiane's like reach for her height and her head, the way her shoulders are built too. She's like hard to really, really hit flush and knock like her head back. Like she's got a good shock absorber. The way her neck is built. I'm gonna hold off on that pick, man. I like both fighters, so I can't be. Yeah, I would like to see it though. I think with the ground game, I'll give Chelsea the edge. Though. I'm gonna give Chelsea that. I think her boxing is sharp too, and I think she has a good ground game. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's a good fight. At 145, it needs to happen. James G said my fantasy fight is Andrade versus Suarez. James G, what's up? Yeah, that's mine too. That's definitely mine too. Santos and Roxy. Yes, Santos and Raquel. I think Pennington is dangerous, man. I think Pennington is dangerous. Would I put Prime Ronda and Gina? Yeah, I would put. Yeah, if I was thinking star power, yeah, I would put Prime Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano on a pay per view. Yeah, I would think that would top it off. That would top it off. It would have to be, I guess, the main event. Brian Williams said that's easy. Nunez versus Shevchenko 3. Nah, wait a minute. What are you saying? Hold on. He said Whaley versus Lamos. Whaley versus Lamos. Andrade and Rose 3. Manon Santos Pena Aldana. See, I matched Andrade with Suarez. He was saying like all time periods, and I would rather see Suarez and Andrade because I've always wanted to see that fight. But yeah, Manon Santos is, I said that. And uh, yeah, Whaley and Lemos, yeah. But he means that all time. So if it's like this fantasy, yeah, those like GDR and Shevchenko was a big one for me. Top three power punchers and top three best chins. Power punchers, um, all time. Would you say? I say Nunez. Have to be Nunez and Chris and Andrade. Nunez, Chris, and Andrade. Top top three best chins. Let me see. Whaley. Well, see, Whaley and Joanna, they both been stopped by Rose, but they showed like some durability with their chins. Let me see. Juliana Pena's got a good chin. I think best chin. I say Juliana Pena's got a good chin. Good chin. Holly Holm's good chin. I'd say Juliana Pena and Holly Holm. Those are two really, really good chins. Proven chins. I mean, Holly went 5 with Cyborg. Who does that, right? Holly Holm and Juliana Pena got good chins. Holly's got a good chin, definitely. Yeah, Pena does. The third, let's see. Joanna's taking a beating, boy, but Tisha Torres has a good chin. Tisha Torres, she's hard to stop. Joanna couldn't stop her. Andrade couldn't stop her. Whaley couldn't stop her. Marina couldn't stop her. Yeah, I'm gonna put Tisha in there. I'm gonna say Tisha, Holly, and Juliana Pena. I know some fighters have been stopped. They show good chins, but I'm looking at the ones that have never, have been like. I mean, Holly ate the head kick from Nunez, but still, like she can take some punishment. In power punches, yeah, I'd say Bricks is like Nunez, Andrade, and Chris. Grasso versus Jan Janon. I would pick Grasso against Jan Janon. And I would pick I might give I think I'm gonna give at 115, I might give Rose the edge against Grasso. I'm gonna go with Rose in the Grasso fight. Mastermind said Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy. I'm gonna go with Aaron Blanchfield. I'll go with Aaron Blanchfield. Hold on, let me get my eyes focused here. Andrade Suarez could still happen. Yeah, it could still happen. I just keep thinking that the more Suarez pushes back, then we get further and further away. Nunes needs a fight on the March card if the UFC can pull a title fight out in a matter of minutes, and she needs to defend. Yeah, I'm about ready for Nunes to come back too, man. Like, you know, can't hold this division up. You know, Mastermind said nobody going to take Nunes' belt even after this. Not even Aldana or Ketlin. Yeah, I think her chances against Ketlin are pretty good. O'Brien Williams said Pena, Misha, and Carolina as far as best chins. Misha Tate do got a darn good chin, man. I think I just have to put Holly over that because the cyborg fight. The cyborg fight, man. Like who takes that type of beating, right? And Carolina been dropped by Andrade, so but that's Andrade. But yeah, Pena, I think we can all agree on Pena's chin. Even in that Nunes rematch. Hardest punches, GDR, Cyborg, and Nunes. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting GDR in there. Felicia Spencer. He said, "Oh, is this Felicia Spencer hard chin?" Yeah, she had one. She had one. If she was still active, I would say she's got a good chin. Yeah, Felicia Spencer. Yeah. Oh yeah. She sure did. She did survive. She survived. But that's why she had to retire too, because she took 2 beatings, her and Nunes. She's an honorary chin since she retired. Yeah, you know that's why she had to call it quits too. You know, they didn't say too much, but that's one reason why I think she did retire, because she went the distance with both of them, and I think it might have did a little bit of damage. James said, who we taking on Ebos or Rujo? I think Ebos, but that Vivi power jab got me a little nervous. I'm gonna go with Vivi for now, James. Lemos versus Rose. Lemos, let me think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Lemos in that fight. And I think it's going to be more of an all-out type of rough and rugged fight, more so because Lemos is going to have to deal with the footwork of Rose too. It's a little bit tricky, so I think it's going to have to be more of a closed inside fight where Lemos get to work in the inside, and eventually, if she can take her legs away, then her punches will land. If she goes to the body, that's always a target. Like Rose's body's pretty open, so if she goes to the body, as a good boxer should, she should be able to slow Rose down, and I think eventually either stop Rose or win on decision. Santos looks like a full bantamweight now. Yeah, I mean, I look at her thighs, man. I was like, this girl is big. James said, you think Grasso takes care of Santos? Zaman? Grasso all day. Who else picks Grasso over Santos? I'm just asking. Everybody got their own pick. Ain't no big deal. Gabriel said Pena versus Santos. Ooh. At 135. Pena versus Santos at 135. Dang, man, that's a good fight, man. That's Pena's relentless too. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Santos. I think she can make the right changes in the fight. You know, I think Pena, she can be figured out on the feet. And I think if Santos figures that out, she can land on her and eventually get her to the ground. Now, yeah, Pena's a good wrestler now, but I think that Santos at that weight, she would really be stronger, and her jiu-jitsu is really good. You know, Pena getting a little reckless. I think Santos is the type of fighter to capitalize. I'm gonna go with Santos. Chit Chat said, who could benefit the most moving up to a division? Joanna could have benefited moving up to 125, I think. When Joanna was around, Chit Chat, I think if she moved up to flyweight, she would have been stronger. Even where Tatiana is at right now, I think she could benefit at flyweight. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. I think Santos moves up to 135, and even Manon moving up to 135, I think they could benefit. Definitely. Any straw weights though? Let me see. Andrade moved up. She benefited. I think her power carried up. Marina's not really. She's long and lean, but she's not really built like a flyweight to me. I think Joanna was though. I think Joanna could have been a pretty good flyweight. He said Cyborg struggled with Spencer and she survived. Amanda, best chin hands down. Yeah, she went what, 8 rounds with him? One of those fights was a 3-round fight. And then she went 5 rounds with the champion. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely one of the best chins. It gives me a headache thinking about it though. But yeah, it's definitely one of the best chins. Yeah, Andrade has a great chin. Pena and Andrade, I would go with I would actually go with Pena in that fight at 135. I think Pena's jab would be effective in that fight, and her wrestling. The thing might cost her is her recklessness, though. You know. Yeah, her recklessness is what really cost her in a fight, Robot Chicken. Believe me, I'm with you on that. Like, I was mad. I thought GDR was going to win by a knockout, honestly. But when she won by submission, I was like, what? How do you let a striker get the first submission win over you? How does that happen? You think Val can beat everyone at 135? Everyone now? Let me think. I don't think she'll beat Nunes in the third fight, honestly. Could she beat Kelly Vieira? Let me think. At this point, that's a big girl. Let me think. Well, I don't see her beating Val in a third fight, so yeah, I don't think she beats everybody. Val versus Josiane. Right now I would say Valentina, just because she's proven. If it was like at 135, yeah, I would say Valentina. I want to see Josiane do a little bit more first, Colostrum said it looks like we might be getting Val versus Grasso. How many rounds do you think Grasso will last with Val? I say maybe 3. 3 or 4 tops. I think that might be the one though, because with Manon out, she did say that Grasso interests her, and I think that might put the UFC in that position to back her into the corner now and say, "Hey, Grasso, it's you." Dang, Mastermind said Grasso submits Val in the third. Wow. Would you be willing to put money on that? Yeah, that's where I'm at with that stamina. I think GDR versus Shevchenko is more interesting than the third fight with Nunes at this point. Lemos versus Weili. How does Lemos finish the fight, and how does Weili finish? I think Lemos finishes it on the feet. Honestly, I think Lemos finishes it on the feet, and I think Weili. I think she could finish it. I think she could finish it as well with hands. It would probably lead to her maybe getting some ground and pound. But honestly, I could see Lemos doing like a submission too. If she gets Weili in a reckless position and she gets that back or gets that arm. Like if she hurt Weili and got her down, then she put her in that position. Her jiu-jitsu is good. Could Val beat Aldana? I think she could. When it gets down to the ground, I think she could beat her. But Aldana, if she waits too long from the outside, she could get, outstruck. Yeah. Saint, what's up? He said, I heard Val wanted the Nunes fight, the third Nunes fight. Yeah. She said it could happen at some point. And if it does, let's get it out the way. Because me personally, I just want that book to close so a lot of people will stop talking about it. Honestly. That's where I'm at with it. I'm just kind of at the point where I want people to say, hey, let's let it go. Let's get it out the way. That's it. And then we can finally stop the GOAT talk. We'll stop the GOAT talk. Now, if it goes to a decision, no, we ain't gonna have it. People are still gonna be like, oh no, that was a close fight. Nunes didn't earn it. Right? Gary said, I like Weili ground and pound. Dern needs to work on her. Yeah, Dern need to work on her wrestling. Dern need to work on her wrestling too. Saint said Val would outstrike Aldana. Yeah, I think so. In some cases here, James, like these big girls like Ketlin, even Irene, they have higher punch resistance. They could withstand some of her strikes and they could put weight on her. And that's when you do the smart thing and you get to a weight class where you fit, right? I think style-wise, her and Nunes just never works out anyway. I think regardless of that, I think it's a combination of skills and size. But with the other girls, it could just be size, where they could just walk through and be able to withstand blows, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're better. I actually think Nunes' skill level has gotten better, where it would be a good balance. Chit Chat said, does Val or Nunes retire first? I think Nunes retires first. Yeah, Singh said, yeah, I think Nunes retire first. Yeah, Weili is training with former boxing champion, Nonito Donaire, and that's good. She's working on her boxing. But her and Blanchfield, that would be excellent. That would be the boxing and the jiu-jitsu. Yeah, Lolita said Nunes, her heart is her family. Shevchenko's heart is martial arts. Yeah, so Shevchenko's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think Nunes we'll do that first. She'll retire. Now she got the baby. Yeah, I saw that Lolita Kobe is training with Priscilla Cachoeira. What y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? Can you ever see Val getting flatlined in any division? If she were to get flatlined, it would be GDR at 135. Now, I'm not saying that's why I want to see the fight. I'm just saying that would be the one fighter to catch her. And that's why it's a challenge, because if she sleeps on her, she could get caught. And she's so tall and long, you know what I mean? So I want to see how she could handle that. But other than that, even that's kind of a reach. Like sometimes it's just fighters that don't put their chin in that type of danger, and they just don't have that type of recklessness that you never see them sleep somebody, you know? Like Holly, she got a great chin, but I knew like when she fought Nunes, possibility was high of her getting slept. But I couldn't believe the Cyborg fight, man. She withstood every one of them blows, man. It was nuts. In the way like Pena fights, it's always a high possibility they get slept because their chin is always out there. You know, Val doesn't really put her chin out there. That, and you know, from some fighters, they get intimidated. They don't take the chance to hit her. Listen to Brian. Brian always doubtful. He said, I don't think GDR is coming back. He don't think Suarez is coming back either. He ain't got no faith in GDR or my girl Suarez. Oh, man. I mean, it's a sad thing. It really is sad for Suarez, because Suarez had never got a belt. At least GDR did. At least GDR did. Right, Robot Chicken. Yeah. I thought they were all filthy, you know. But he get well, they must weren't filthy because he got with Poliana Viana, right? His track record looking bad right now. All that trash he was talking, you know, getting nasty with Poliana Viana, you know, whatever she was talking about. And now he over here training with Cachoeira. I tell you, listen, this hypocrite. Oh yeah. Tisha Torres, they having a girl, right? Does she retire soon? It's possible. I think it's possible if she doesn't get back into that realm of hunger. It's possible. If she get comfortable with this baby life, she probably won't. She might not come back. She might do like Anzarov. Val versus Cyborg. I would go with Cyborg. The bigger, better fighter always beats the good. The good big fighter always beats the good little fighter. Definitely got to go with Cyborg. That's outmatched. Cyborg would win. Good big fighter always beats a good little fighter. Gabrielle said, how about Andrade? When did she retire? Andrade's just really hitting her prime. She's only 30 years old. I think Andrade stays around for a while. Andrade's going to at least go for the belt 2 or 3 more times. Andrade ain't going nowhere until she fight Weili again. And even if she fight Weili, she's still going to come back. She'll still come back and fight. She might do the 135 thing too. Andrade's a little baby in this game. She just got a lot of fights. She ain't no baby, but you know what I mean. She's still young. Yeah, GDR had a great chance. I never understood why she didn't take that fight. She had a great chance. She had a great chance to beat Cyborg. And that's why I wanted to see that fight. Who was that? Colostrum said that? Yeah, he had brought that up. Yeah, I thought that was a great fight. potential was high there. Imagine if she won that fight. Okay, y'all. Lolia said that's right. GR didn't want to fight Cyborg because she got power for beds. And yeah, that's something you got to take into consideration. That was one of the reasons Ronda Rousey didn't want to do it. And back then, when Ronda was fighting, that's when it first happened. That's kind of when it first was still stewing. That's when she came right hot, not off of it that same year, but you know what I mean. That was their, I ain't gonna say excuse, but that was just their reason why. Because at the time, it was like, I don't want to take that risk if somebody gets popped, right? Yeah, James Press, I respect Nunes for fighting Cyborg. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I picked Nunes in that one too. I said, you know what? I think Nunes got it. People thought she was scared, but I said, this fight ain't going the distance. Chit Chat said Val versus Mayweather. They have a lot of similarities when it comes to their fighting style and their discipline. If Lemos loses the way Lee, does she retire? No, not at all. Not at all. She comes back. I think Lemos comes back. No, she comes back. Let me see. James, that is why Nunes is the GOAT. I put that right there just for you, James. Mastermind said that is why Nunes is the GOAT. Just to bug him. Ravioli said, could Cyborg ever make 135, or was Ronda going to go up? Ronda was supposed to go up because Cyborg would, yeah. Colostrum said she would die. Yeah, she died trying to make featherweight. I remember watching that YouTube video. She about died trying to get down to 145, right? I think maybe her prime weight even today would be like 155. Like now she's older. Shoot, it's hard for boxers to retire, Gabriella. We actually seen more MMA fighters retire over the past year. Like, help me out here. Who all retired? Who all retired this year? Roxy, Joanna, Felicia Spencer retired when? This year or last year? Jessica I. I know there was somebody else. Didn't Cowboy retire this year? Cowboy retired. Yeah. Roxy did. Mm-hmm. Nina Azaroff retired. JoJo was out of the range. She might retire. I think Sarah McMahon might retire. Yeah, Frankie Edgar, he retired. Actually, a lot of fighters this year retired. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Aldo did. Yeah. I didn't say Aldo. Yeah, Jose Aldo did. And Dillashaw, yeah, he just retired. Stamina said he don't count. Yeah, that cheat. No, not. He don't recount. Yep. Yeah, JJ, Roxy, Spencer, JoJo. Yeah. Spencer was this year. It was earlier this year. Yeah, Kevin Holland. Shit just said Kevin Holland. Does O'Neal or Aaron lose before they fight for the title? Let me see. Look, people gonna take it the wrong way again. I could see if Casey O'Neal fights Jennifer Maia, she could lose that fight, right? But I don't think it's over for her. I think she could still fight for the title. Aaron, I think she has more of a clear cut way up because of just her style, and that's my opinion. But I think O'Neal, she'll be the one to take an L, but she'll be back. She'll be back. Yeah, I think O'Neal would, but I don't think Aaron would. Ravioli said O'Neal does. Aaron does. Frankie Edgar looks like that one cartoon character in Bobby's World. He said Dillashaw is a cheating rat snake. Yeah. Brian Williams said, I think they both lose. I don't think they both lose. I think Casey does. If Casey fights Jennifer Maia, she will. I think she loses that fight. I think if Aaron had fought Viviana Araujo, she probably would have had a rough fight, but I think she would have won that fight. Well, if any of them fight Santos or Fiorot on the way up, they'll probably, let me backtrack on that a little bit here. If any of them fight Santos or Fiorot, to me, they'll both take an L before they fight for the belt. Zalman said O'Neal would never reach top 10. Sorry. When Val and Nunes retire, which one would be more sad about? Which one would you be more sad about? Sad is like a big word for me. Like, I'm not that emotional about it. I disappointed, maybe a little down because of the changing of the time. I would be more so sad about Valentina because I think Nunes's lifestyle is kind of putting me more in the preparation to get ready for her to leave the game. You know what I mean? Like the way Nunes' attitude is now, her inactivity. When she retires, I'll be like, okay, I can see that coming. But the day Val does, I know it's going to be a little bit more emotional because she's got more of an emotional tie to combat sports. You feel me? So I think, Shevchenko, hers would make me feel kind of like, oh man, like now I know this game really going to be out of whack because no more dominant champion. The belt going to be jumping around. Fighters going to figure out what they want to do. But now, it's like, So I think hers would be a little bit more of a hit. I know James Perez would cry. Let me go ahead and put that. James Perez, he going to cry. Colossus says, since Ribas is fighting Vivi, who the heck is Aaron going to fight? I don't know now. Like, Jennifer Maia has still not been lined up to fight Casey O'Neal. So maybe Jennifer Maia, Andrea Macy are fighting. Maybe Jennifer Maia. That would be it. Chit chat said, does Kayla Harris ever sign to the UFC or is it over? Well, I don't think she will. I don't really think she will anyway because it's not a lightweight division. And they really not building a 145-pound division either. So I think it would be Bellator. Like the whole 80-20 thing with Cyborg, that happens in Bellator. So I don't think she was signed to the UFC. Dana didn't show any interest at the time. There's not a weight class for her. Barely a featherweight division. So I think Bellator would play more with the 155-pound weight. Scott Coker, he's more lenient like that. Like it might be a special inaugural belt or something, or it might be at 145, but there's more of a division to work with at Bellator. Gabriel said, who headlines their first main event? O'Neal or Aaron? Oh, let me see. Based off of popularity, I say O'Neal. Like, depending on how it keeps going with her, I think O'Neal. Kind of like Mackenzie Dern, she gets a main event. I think O'Neal would. Brian said they're going to make O'Neal and Aaron fight. Watch. Highly possible. Robot Chicken said, call me crazy, but I still believe in Mano. I'm not, I do too, man. Yeah, I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he crazy at all for that. Aaron can fight Maya. That's a good test. Yeah. Casey's already been in talks of having a fight or her return. Something about contracts being drawn up, or was that Juju? I can't remember. Montana as well, I think. Zama said O'Neal won't reach contender status. Dang. He got it in for Kareem Silva and Casey O'Neal, boy. I mean, Kareem Silva hadn't even had a chance to get in here yet, and you already talking trash about Kareem Silva. We haven't even seen enough of her yet, and you already talking trash about Kareem Silva. Brian said long enough for Valentina to retire. That's how long she gonna stay out. How much longer she gonna be injured until she retires? The day I tell you what, the day Valentina retires, she gonna be showing her out. She gonna be showing her out. I'm telling you, a lot of fighters are. Chit Chat said, "What's your current pound for pound rankings? Top 5." I would say Nunes, Shevchenko, Nunes, Shevchenko, Wei Lee, and let me see. Tyler Santos. Let me think. And Lemos. That's just who I think is really hot as far as across the board right now, and ready for action and title shot action. It changes, but those top 3 never really change. Wei Lee. Well, Wei Lee just got back in there with her 2 wins this year because Rose did have the belt, but I think Nunes getting her belt back those are the top 5. Top 5 pound for pound today. For across the board for women. I don't know what he has against Kareem. Zama can't stand Kareem. So what's up, man? See, at least you got something to base your attitude off about Casey O'Neal on. Like when you say, and I find Casey O'Neal to be entertaining, but you ain't even seen Kareem Silva fight enough. You ain't seen her fight enough, man. Hold on. O'Neal versus Ribas. Ooh. Ribas. Does anybody lose their belt in 2023? I think Wei Lee has a big chance of losing it against Lemos because that's a tough fight. She's really got a big chance losing that, but it's that tough of a challenge. If anybody does, I think Valentina has a bigger chance of retaining hers, and Nunes as well. But I think when it comes down to who has the biggest risk in front of them, I would say Wei Lee does and Lemos, because that shows you how dangerous her division is, as well as how well-rounded Nunes and Shevchenko are, and how far they've come now as champions. They didn't rebook the Tracy Cortez fight. Is she pregnant? I'm not sure. It's something very personal. And usually when they say that, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I didn't put it out there like that, because I'm not sure. Because she said it's a medical personal issue and I don't want to put it out there because it's my business. But I think when you say that, it already kind of tells us that could be it, right? When you say it like that, when you say it like that, you kind of give away the answer. All she had to do is say no comment. But when you start talking personal medical issues, that's kind of what it is sometimes. I wanted to see that fight too. Blade at 135. I think 135 might be better for her. 135 probably would have been better. Shoot, when the UFC didn't sign Blader, I thought maybe she should have just went over to PFL's flyweight division and, work over there. But yeah, 135, she's a big flyweight. Maybe that's what she is as a bantamweight. Because that's where originally when I seen her, I was like, maybe she'd be a nice addition to bantamweight. Pudilova versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I don't think she gets ragged out. I think she's just thin because of that weight. But if she actually just, lets her body fill out. Yeah. Pudilova, Mayra Bueno Silva, that's a good fight. And the thing is, eventually Brian might not now, but eventually I think she would have to be there because she's, only 20 now. So yeah, the weight could be easy for her to make, but if she gets older, it'll be a problem. Yeah, Ibas and Cortez, they were hugged up. They didn't, Ibas said no. And the thing is, Ibas wasn't mad too. So that kind of tells us it might have been that, right? Because Ibas is like, oh, it's all good. She didn't get mad at her. She said it was cool, fine. She showed no hard feelings. So it could have been like a, pregnancy thing. And she's probably like, oh, you about to have a baby? She was like, okay, that's all good. Congratulations. So that's the only thing I think coming from Ebos's standpoint that could make her feel like that. Like even the weight thing, sometimes fighters, they can show them some slack. But I think in that situation, she's probably like, oh, okay, but they were hugged up. So I was like, maybe it was a baby thing. Top 3 best stand-up game. Valentina. Stand-up. Valentina. Rose. Let's see. Rose, Valentina. GDR. If she's still considered an active fighter, yeah, I'm gonna say Valentina, GDR, and Rose. Best stand-up game. Top 3 ground game. Let me see. Top 3 ground game. Okay. Can I say Valentina again? Because she's done some good things on the ground. She stopped some fighters on. She submitted Pena, and she put Andrade in that crucifix. That's some good work. I can say Valentina again, right? Valentina is a good ground game because I consider her a well-rounded fighter. Okay, so I'm gonna say Valentina. Nunes. Trying to run through some fighters here in my head. Let me pull up the rank. There goes Zaman. He always gonna call her a C-level grappler. I don't know why. Let me look at the rankings because I really want to base it off her resume too. Let's see what we got here. Pena is a good fighter on the ground. I'm gonna put Juliana Pena in mine. I'm gonna say Julieta Pena. I want to pick one from each division. I'm gonna say Julieta Pena. Let me see. Yeah, Dern is okay. Yeah, it's functional. It's there, right? Yeah, it's there. So I'm thinking about this one. I really am thinking about this one. No, I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna say Santos is one of today's. I think Santos has a very good ground game. It was very useful to her getting all the way up to the title. I'm gonna say ground. I'm gonna say yeah. Santos has a good ground game. I can't say Suarez now because she's been inactive, man. She's been active for 4 years. You said Suarez and Dern. It's hard to say Dern because she can't really even get takedowns. Like she's got good jujitsu, but like she's having trouble submitting even Marina. So I can't say Suarez. She's been out too long. It's been 4 years now. Um, Aaron, it still takes time. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna put Dern, I would put no, I would put Shevchenko. I'm gonna put Shevchenko over Dern. Now, when they're just on the ground, like I still consider takedowns too. I think Valentina can get better takedowns than Dern too. Like whenever she's just purely on the ground. Whenever Dern is purely on the ground, she can submit you, yeah. But even then, like she couldn't submit Marina Rodriguez. Says Suarez is unquestionably number one. It's been so long though, man. I have to think about that because even like because some of these it depends. Like it just depends too. Like when you factor in different things like takedowns too, like how can you prove it if you don't really have a good takedown game either? See, with striking, it's different. It's easier. It's a little bit easier to pick because it's obvious. The levels is obvious to me. Brian said, "Yes, Suarez. Yeah, Suarez not active. Like over the past 4 years, I can't say that style would hold up now." That's just me. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I've been on here for about over 3 hours. So yeah, I hadn't been on for a few days, so I just wanted to chop it up with y'all. We'll talk about that again tomorrow because that is something I like to talk about here. That's a good question. Chit chat asking these good, complicated questions today. And like I said, I want to come back and do my fantasy fights top 5. So yeah, I'm out of here, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Good talk. And if you missed the live, just come back and put your comments in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch y'all on the stream tomorrow, guys. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.